Warm greetings from the high 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Happy holidays to everybody. I decided to bring you a little mischief and mayhem before we celebrate Turkey Day. For those of you who are not celebrating, God bless you. Stay safe. Happy shopping to everybody on Thursday, because I know a lot of you are going to be out shopping in certain stores. So please be safe. Be aware of your surroundings. But tonight's discussion is pertaining to Brian Laundrie. His death has been ruled a suicide, and I will also bring you commentary pertaining to the two ladies who were found brutally killed out in Moab. Is there a connection between the death of Gabby Petito and those two women? And also, Summer Wells. Where is the case going? Will there be an arrest soon, plural, for the disappearance of Summer Wells? This is a double live. Thank you so much. Hello, Justice. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome our new mod, Mr. Justice for All. Thank you so much, honey, for joining me. I was going to do a hypothetical tonight, but then once I found that the Laundrie case still had information, I just decided to go ahead and bring you all that before the holidays, that his death was ruled a suicide. I'm going to play you information from Profiling Evil. Thank you, sir, for your video. The video has great content. It has great questions. He also has questions pertaining to the Laundrie case, the discovery of the body, what was left behind to find bullet fragments, what was left behind to make this determination of suicide. Very interesting information. I'm going to go ahead and play the video, and then you can also chime in the chat if you agree or disagree with what is said in this said video. If you need to find this information, it's in the YouTube queue. It was uploaded 7 hours ago. It's titled Brian Laundrie's Cause of Death. What about murder? This is from Profiling Evil. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Well, I thought I was getting started. Yikes. Sorry about that. Thank you all for joining me. Hello, everybody. Hello, mods, everybody. Thank you so much. Got my mods in. Amen.
Speculated for over a month about Brian Laundrie's demise. Some were convinced it was an alligator or a panther that killed the boyfriend of Gabby Petito. You know, it would take forensics to learn that he died by a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. So now the question is, are the ballistics being compared to the missing Moab couple, Crystal Turner and Kylen Schulte? Brian Laundrie's attorney confirmed an autopsy report that says Gabby Petito's former boyfriend died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. That's right, Stephen Bortolino told ABC Action News that Chris and Roberta Laundrie have been informed that the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the head. The manner of death, suicide. The attorney went on to say that the Laundrie parents are mourning the loss of their son, and they're hopeful that these findings will bring closure to both families. I mean, what a tough position they're all in. It was about a month ago that police concluded their search in the Florida swamps with the discovery of Laundrie's remains. Remember, a federal arrest warrant loomed over Laundrie's head following the death of his fiancée, Gabby Petito. The charge? Get this, use of unauthorized access devices. To the world, the charge didn't seem strong enough, and now we may never know what the arrest affidavit might have looked like. What we do know is Gabby Petito died of manual strangulation by throttling. I'm wondering if law enforcement has recovered any physical evidence to show what type of weapon was used in the suicide. If this was a suicide, there would undoubtedly be a weapon nearby, bullet casings, and the bullet itself. The challenge comes with the displacement of the skull piece that was recovered and used to identify Laundrie. Was it moved by an animal, moved by water currents, or perhaps even was it moved by a person? I mean, isn't it interesting that the law enforcement was eventually led to the exact area where it was discovered? I keep going back to, was this skull piece an artifact of staging, or did it really end up there by a natural event? Well, now for the question that just keeps haunting me. I've heard the Grant County Sheriff's Office announce that Brian Laundrie is not a suspect in the murder of the Moab couple. That is clear. The Sheriff's Office has said Laundrie is not a suspect. Now, cases change all the time as new information becomes available. We've even heard comments from Schulte's father, who says that he doesn't have anything to support Laundrie's involvement. But I got this nagging question about the timeline. Laundrie was in the vicinity of the victim's place of work. Laundrie was in the vicinity of a local bar that the women had been frequenting the night before they disappeared. Laundrie had an evening where he was completely unaccounted for after the domestic violence call with Gabby Petito. And then, suddenly, Laundrie makes a flight back to Florida alone, only to return and then take Gabby Petito to the Grand Teton National Park, where she's days later discovered murdered. I'm confident that law enforcement won't overlook these coincidences, and if there are firearms and ballistics evidence in the murder of Crystal Turner and Karen Schulte, that law enforcement will compare it to the weapon that Laundrie used to commit suicide. So my question is pretty simple. We've got this new news. What are your thoughts? Do you think Laundrie is still a suspect in the Crystal Turner and Kylen Schulte murder in Moab, Utah? And on a similar note, do you believe that Laundrie died where his skull was recovered? I'm going to be watching for your answers down below, and thanks for weighing in. And since we're asking questions, what are your thoughts about the timing of this suicide finding just before the U.S. holiday of Thanksgiving? Was now the right time? I'm going to watch for your answers. Hey, and speaking of the holidays, please consider picking up my two newest books, Deceived, an investigative memoir of the Zion Society cult, and She Knew No Fear. You can get signed hardbound copies with a special bundled price by visiting our website at profilingevil.com. I hope you'll check them out. I really think these are great books. And folks, if you found this video to be interesting and educational, please take a moment, hit that like and the subscribe button. Ring the bell so that you get all of our notifications. And folks, have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you soon at the next crime scene.
All right, everybody, that was Profiling Evil. Thank you, sir, for your great content. He has some great questions. What was found at the scene to make this determination? Were there ballistics? Will those ballistics be compared to the two women who were found murdered out west in Moab? Law officials out there are saying that there is no connection, but then we have private investigators saying that they believe there could be a connection. I'm going to bring you all this information. Sorry, I'm a little late with all that. I kind of just zoned out with the Petito case and Laundrie case. Once his body was found, I didn't really talk about anything pertaining to the case after that, although her parents are still, giving commentary pertaining to their child's death. But I kind of just zoned out. But I'm going to go ahead and bring, yes, a great source. Profiling Evil brought some very lucrative information. And one thing that was sad is that he was only deemed a person of interest, Mr. Laundrie, in her death. Once we found out that it was manual strangulation is how she died. He was the last person seen with her. So one would assume that he's the one that killed her. But because he ended up killing his own self, went missing, then now found deceased partial remains found in a swamp and now deemed homicide, you can't charge him because he's no longer alive. Some of you still believe it's not him, it's somebody else, it's this and that. I'm not here to argue about what was found in the swamp. If law officials and a dentist say that it's him, then that's how I'm going to rock. But my main concern at this moment are the women who were found murdered. And there have also been other people found deceased out there. And I'm going to bring you that commentary as well. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you'd like to donate to the channel and the dream, $Beganji 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live. I'm going to go ahead and bring you information pertaining to those women because their names need to be out there as well because they were somebody's child, sister, family member, friend, and there's something evil lurking out there in that Grand Teton. Some human plural, is lurking and knocking off people. I do not know if Brian Laundrie is a suspect, but when you start chopping up the information, it's all strange. Just like his death was strange, his parents going into the swamp just so happened to fall in where he was found. Now we've got information that he killed himself, so now we have to ask ourselves, what did they find as far as ballistics? How much of the evidence was left behind? It's all very odd, weird. Whole damn story is weird. Anything pertaining to these people is just very strange. This is an older article, but I'm going to bring it to you. It's called Out There, Colorado. This was uploaded October 4th. On August 18th, the bodies of two newlyweds, Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner, were recovered from a creek near Moab and Utah's LaSalle Mountains. While this grisly discovery initially created quite a bit of buzz, the case has since fallen off of the media radar, even though it remains unsolved. Roughly 6 weeks later, here's what is known. The case is being investigated as a double homicide, with both women being found fatally shot reportedly multiple times. 2. The women had been camping in the area where their bodies had been found. 3. The women were last seen on August 13th, leaving Woody's Tavern, which is a popular destination located in Moab. They were found 5 days later on August 18th after failure to return to work sparked questions. 4. Prior to their presumed murder, the woman, had complained to friends about a creepy guy near their campsite in previous days, according to a Fox News report. The same man that had been previously seen in the area by the women returned to the campsite area again and parked closer. The couple went silent after sharing information about the man's return and did not share details about his vehicle. 5. Officials have asked anyone in the area between August 13th and August 15th to reach out with potential clues in the case. The number to reach out is 435-259-8115. And let me reiterate, please, if you do not know these women, you don't know anything about the case, you were not a witness, you were not in Moab, you weren't at the campsite, please do not call this number. Only if you have pertinent, viable information, will you please call 435-259-8115. Thank you. It's also worth noting that a wedding with more than 100 people on the guest list took place on August 14th, less than a mile from where the bodies of Schulte and Turner were found. No information has been publicly released in regard to whether or not this group included any potential witnesses or if this gathering generated any tips for authorities to pursue. 6. The father, Kylen Schulte, has continued to make appeals for the public to help in solving the case. 7. The bodies of the women were found by an acquaintance who went to search the area while on the phone with Schulte's father on August 18th. She found Schulte's vehicle and subsequently found Schulte's remains shot to death and partially disrobed. At this point, she called 911. Authorities soon found Turner's remains in a similar condition nearby. 8. It was determined that there was no link between the death of this couple and that of Gabrielle Petito, a highly publicized case that has sent shockwaves across the media in recent weeks. Petito's body was found in Wyoming. It was also determined that there was no link between this couple and escaped sex offender John Freeman Cope, who had been on the run and hiding in the state and national park since June. He was captured in Utah last week. Now remember, this is an article uploaded October 4th. Number 9, the Grand County Sheriff's Office reports receiving many calls about the case, both related to tips and requests for more information. A forensic analysis of evidence found at the scene is underway, but can take weeks or months to complete. Number 10, At time of publishing, no one is in custody with a suspected connection to the case. No leads have been made publicly known. According to a GoFundMe page set up on behalf of Kylen Schulte, a $20,000 reward has been offered for information that leads to the case being solved. The GoFundMe has raised $42,222 of a $50,000 goal. This information is by Out There, Colorado. If you need verification for the information that I have brought to you, there's also a number in this article for anyone who has tips to the murder of these two women, 435-259-8115. And I will repeat their names for those coming into the chat that do not know what I am talking about. I am talking about the two women who were found out west, bludgeoned, killed, double homicide, Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner. They were a newly married couple. They had been out in Moab, in Utah's LaSalle Mountains, camping. And we're now getting information that another vehicle was left on the scene and seized, and I will bring you that set information. Their car also taken in for evidence. The van that they stayed in with said paperwork to show that they did stay in that van, had access to that van. Family mail was in the van. They also had a storage unit that both of the ladies were sharing. There's information of that paperwork that was also found in the van. So I will bring you that set information. But the first source pertaining to this story is OutThereColorado.com. Thank you all so much for joining me. Let's now go to thesun.com for our second source of information. Hello, Alicia Ann. How are you, sweetheart? Shock body count. At least 10 bodies found since Gabby Petito was murdered as more remains discovered near where she was killed. This was uploaded October 25th. The U.S. Sun is the source. At least 10 bodies have been discovered across the U.S. since Gabby Petito's murder as more remains have been found near where the vlogger was killed. Jared Henry, 26, was last seen on October 21st in the park where Gabby Petito's remains were found last month. I'm going to give you a dissection of all the people found dead. They are all different races. Miss Cho would be considered, I don't know. I don't want to use the wrong identity. Either Chinese or Japanese. Petito's Caucasian. We have a black person, number 5, coming out of North Carolina. All different states: California, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, Alabama, North Carolina, Florida. These are all different places, different remains that these people were found. I thought they were trying to say they were found in the out there, but excuse me, they're found in all different places in the U.S. Let's see. Very strange. I was going to say, my goodness, 10 more people were found. This is crazy. Okay. But I think these are different parks. Here we go. Let's try to see where we can take this story. Cops found Jared Henry's remains in Wyoming after launching a search on October 21st. Gabby's remains were found in Wyoming on September 19th. Remains were found in a search for Lauren Cho earlier this month. Newlyweds Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner were found shot dead on August 18th at a campsite in Utah near where Gabby and Laundrie had visited days earlier. Search teams found Jared's remains near Old Hill in the eastern part of the park on Sunday, according to the East Idaho News. Rescue efforts were launched on Thursday after cops received a call that expressed concern about his welfare. Henry's car was found in the parking area of Game Warden Point, but he was nowhere to be seen. Grand Teton National Park law enforcement, Rangers, Teton Country, God, all these big names, Teton Country Sheriff's Office deputies, and Teton County Search and Rescue were involved in operations. So this other person was found in that general area. Mr. Jared Henry. Woo, this is a lot. Choppers, a fixed-wing helicopter, drones, rescue dogs were deployed as more than 80 people tried to find Jared. The 26-year-old is thought to be the fourth person to go missing at Jackson Hole this year, according to the Jackson Hole News and Guide. It comes just a month after FBI detectives unearthed the remains of 22-year-old vlogger Gabby Petito. Gabby was on a cross-country trip with fiancé Brian Laundrie when she went missing. Her body was found on September 19th. She was strangled to death. Coroners revealed that the vlogger wasn't pregnant at the time of her death. Laundrie remains... Hold on one second. This thing's moving so fast. Okay. Laundrie's remains were found a month later at Maya Kahatchee Creek Environmental Park near the Carlton Reserve. FBI detectives found a partial skull, but a cause of death has not been established. Now, remember, this was a month and a half, almost a month and a half ago. We do know now that his death has been ruled a suicide. Laundrie's body has been sent to an anthropologist for more tests after an autopsy was inconclusive. Once again, this is an older article from October. The other bodies include married couple found murdered in Utah, a man who died by suicide in a Wyoming swamp, and remains were unearthed during a search for a woman who disappeared in the California desert in June. Sarah Bayard, 55, was first reported missing on July 4th. She was last seen at a convenience store in Parker, Colorado on June 28th. Gabby had checked in on Instagram at nearby Monument Rocks on the same day. El Paso County Sheriff's Office received the missing report on Bayard. She and Laundrie also checked in closer to Parker in Colorado Springs on July 8th. Bayard's cause and manner of death have not yet been released, the Denver Channel reported. Well, the way this is going, it sounds like they're kind of like trying to tie these into possible times when Laundrie and Petito were traveling out west. The way this is looking. Now, on to Lauren Cho. Perhaps the most high-profile body discovery mentioned in the thread came over the weekend as part of the search for Lauren Cho. Cho, a 30-year-old chef from New Jersey, vanished on June 28 after setting out for a solo walk in California's Yucca Valley desert, or Yucca Valley. Authorities announced the discovery of human remains in the Yucca Valley earlier this month, but have not said whether they believe they belong to Cho. But I do believe that was confirmed. Wyoming hiker suicide. Robert Bob Lowry, 46, and I have mentioned Mr. Lowry on this channel, vanished on August 20th while visiting Wyoming's Bridger Teton National Forest near Grand Teton National Park. The father of two was last seen on the Black Canyon Trail carrying a black duffel and a collapsed tent. His family had been searching for him for weeks, but no leads. However, Teton County Sheriff's Deputy Chad Sash told NBC Dateline this week that it was the recent coverage of Gabby's tragic murder that encouraged members of the public to come forward with tips about Lowry's last known movements. Lowry's body was found on August 27th, and a coroner confirmed his death was a suicide. North Carolina remains. On October 9th, authorities announced that human remains were found by the Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina, where dozens of people claim to have seen Laundrie in recent weeks. The cause of death was ruled a homicide. The FBI was quick to clarify that the recovery had nothing to do with the Laundrie case. The body discovered along the Blue Ridge Parkway on Saturday is part of an ongoing investigation, FBI officials told WSOC 9. At this time, there is no evidence to connect or any reason to believe it is related to the search for fugitive Brian Laundrie. The remains were later identified as Josu Calderon, 33, of Rhode Island, according to the Charlotte Observer. Utah newlyweds. Two of the bodies mentioned in the Reddit thread were found before the Laundrie manhunt began, but investigators have said it's possible they are linked. Newlyweds Kylen Schulte, 24, and Crystal Turner, 38, were found shot dead in the LaSalle Mountain Range in Utah on August 18th, 5 days after they were last seen at Woody's Tavern in Moab on August 13th, according to Fox News. The couple had been married for just 4 months and lived in a camper van, Fox 13 reported. They had reportedly complained about a man creeping them out shortly before they were killed. Days earlier, cops with the Moab Police Department responded to a call about a fight between Gabby and Laundrie. As the laundry case gained more and more attention, cops investigating the newlyweds' death said they were not ruling out the possibility that the cases were linked. However, investigators later said they do not believe the cases were connected. Alabama man. A body was discovered near a dumpster at a Walmart in Mobile, Alabama on September 20th, sparking rumors that it could be Laundrie. However, authorities quickly confirmed that the body was not connected to the Laundrie case. The person who died has not been named publicly, but police said he was homeless. In this article, you will see pictures of all the deceased. Sarah Bayard, 55, Caucasian female, blonde hair, was first reported missing in Colorado on July 4th. Then we have Mr. Robert Bob Lowry. He's also pictured, vanished on August 20th. He was found dead on September 27th. We then have African American or Hispanic male Josu Calderon, 33, of Rhode Island, was found murdered in North Carolina. Very, very strange. Very nice looking guy. He appears to be black, but we do have brown skinned Hispanics. He has long hair, braids in this picture. I mean, very long braids. Now in my mind, I'm sitting here thinking, what the hell was he doing at the Blue Ridge Parkway Mountains to end up dead? It's very, very strange. Then they bring you the Brian Laundrie timeline in this said article. That's basically it for the sun.com. So as you see, several people around the U.S. have been found in parks, and more or less more people found near Grand Teton. We got this Utah, Wyoming thing going on, and also California. I don't know if Laundrie is connected to the case of the two women, but you have to admit the argument that they had was right at that location where one of the women worked. So it would be natural for anyone to assume that there could be a possibility all four or three cross paths with one another, Laundrie, Petito, and one of the women. Very interesting information. If you need verification for this information, you want to look up all the said people who were found deceased in certain parts around the U.S., sun.com is the source. So that's very interesting information. Kind of spooky, quite frankly. Okay. Now I'm going to bring you some new information that's been released. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. This is uploaded the 26th, but updated on the 27th of October. Moab police get digital evidence possibly connected to double murder. Investigators are getting more digital evidence in the murders of two women near Moab earlier this year. They're hoping data from a nearby cell phone tower can help them pinpoint who else was at the murder scene. The bodies of Crystal Turner and her wife, Kylen Schulte, were found at a campsite near LaSalle Loop Road near Moab. Both of them were partially disrobed with multiple gunshot wounds to their backs, sides, and chests. While investigators were on the scene, they called 911 to pinpoint the nearest cell phone tower, and investigators say it's a tower operated by Verizon in the Jimmy King Flats. Search warrants for digital evidence. Newly released search warrants show investigators asked for a tower dump, which is when analysts hand over any and all relevant data from that tower that connects to their investigation and search for digital evidence. That information reportedly came back Tuesday, but former prosecutor Greg Scortis, who is not connected to the case, says the public shouldn't expect investigators to divulge what they found for a while. What they found so far would be privileged or confidential until they're ready to file charges or do something with their case, Scortis said. Data collected between August 13th and August 15th. The warrant specifically asks for any data collected from phones within a 2-mile radius of the tower between August 13th and August 15th. Scortis said, limiting the search to 2 miles within the tower gives you a very limited reference. And it also makes it so that law enforcement isn't just doing what we call a general warrant and trying to get anything they can. Scortis doesn't believe the data will include specific texts or pictures from the phones in their search radius. However, it could tell officers which wireless devices were in their search radius around the time the women were murdered. It could lead law enforcement to the provider or phone provider of the person who made these calls or texts or photographs, he said. More digital evidence. If needed, Schulte says investigators will be able to gather more evidence from cell phone providers, including any possible pictures or videos taken near the crime scene. They can further information about things that were done from that phone during that time, according to Schulte. Investigators say Schulte told friends that a creepy man had been harassing and intimidating the couple before the murder. She also reportedly told friends that if anything happened to them, they were murdered. Lord, that's creeping me out right there. And naturally, if you want to hear more information pertaining to this case, you can go into the said source, KSLNewsRadio.com, 102.7 FM. For more information, another article in the queue is Father of Moab Murder Victim Kylen Show asks visitors to check dash cams. And also Moab homicide victim told friends if something happened to them, they were murdered. That is a very creepy thing to say to people. And I hate hearing stuff like that after death. Hey, if something happens to me, he did it, she did it. Because in your mind, you're asking yourself, especially when it's domesticated, well, why not leave? Why stay with somebody that you think would kill you? 2, somebody's creeping around, stalking you. You would think, well, go somewhere else, please. Because I have to ask myself, if indeed he was creeping around this guy for days, why in the world would you continue to camp there? Pick up your stuff and go move somewhere else. But I think I got information that this was more of a permanent type camp place. So maybe that's why they didn't want to leave. I don't know if it's a campground where they had to pay for their stay. I don't really know how it works. But if I think that my life is in danger or I could be in danger and I keep seeing you around and you're moving your vehicle closer to my vehicle, hell yeah, I'm getting out of there. I'm gone. Jetto, ghetto. And unfortunately, these ladies did not leave. Prayers to the Schulte and Turner family. So I brought you a source from thesun.com and out there, Colorado, and KSLNewsRadio.com. ABC4.com is my next source. Thank you all so much for joining me. ABC4 is the source. 2 months ago, the bodies of Kylen, Schulte, and Crystal Turner were found at a campsite in Moab. Nearly a month ago, the body of Gabby Petito was found in Wyoming. Despite what investigators say, some still believe the deaths of these 3 women may be connected. On August 12th, Moab police were called to a reported domestic incident between Petito and her fiance, Brian Laundrie, outside the Moonflower Co-op. You can see body camera footage, hear the dispatch audio, and read multiple police reports here. The next day, Friday, August 13th. Now go figure. August the 13th. Friday. Didn't know that. Schulte and Turner were seen for the last time at a bar in Moab. So let's think about that for a minute. Some of you love conspiracies. Some of you love hoodoo, voodoo, crystal balls. Times when the sun, the moon is out. Did y'all know that this happened on Friday the 13th? Did anybody know that? Because I didn't. Dear God, help me. This is not good. So August the 12th, Moab police was called for the Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito incident. The next day, Friday the 13th, August 13th, Schulte and Turner were seen for the last time at a bar in Moab. Put that on paper now. Days later, Schulte and Turner were found dead at a campsite near Moab. Because of the timing and the fact that Schulte worked at the Moonflower, there has been speculation about a possible connection. While searching for Petito in early September, Northport Police in Florida confirmed they had shared information with the Grand County Sheriff's Office, which is investigating the double homicide of Schulte and Turner. The Sheriff's Office additionally released a statement saying they were looking into a connection between Petito's case and the double homicide. The next day, the Grand County Sheriff's Office released a new statement saying they found no connection between the 2 cases. Since then, investigators have not released any new details about the double homicide of recently married Schulte and Turner. A private investigator, Jason Jensen of Salt Lake City, is now taking a second look at the case. He spoke with ABC4 affiliate News Nation about the case and the possible connection between the double homicide and the Petito case. He first explained one of the challenging parts of the investigation is that it is unknown where Petito and Laundrie were between their interaction with Moab police on August 13th and August 15th. Exactly. That is the same information that Mr. Profiling Evil said. After they fought, where was Brian Laundrie? They have nothing on him, picture, audio, video, to state where he was after their altercation and when they got pulled over by police on that fateful day of their altercation. Where was he? Where did he go? And some are thinking he was in the vicinity of these ladies, even at the tavern. See, who knows? Very interesting information. Once again, he first explains challenging parts of the investigation is that it is unknown where Petito and Laundrie were between their interaction with Moab on August 13th and the 15th. That is the time frame in which it is believed Schulte and Turner were killed. Now put that on paper. Same time that these two are suspected to have been murdered. Jensen says he's also focusing on the creepy dude that had prompted Schulte and Turner to move their camp. We wonder who this guy is, and I don't think there's a coincidence that somebody else is the murderer. I think it's really this creepy guy, Jensen tells News Nation. If you know anything about Kylen and Crystal, they were very down-to-earth people. They were not debutantes that somebody would be beneath them. It would take a lot for this guy to be creepy in their eyes. And I'm going to play a little bit of video right after I get done. Unfortunately, Jensen says no descriptive information was given about the creepy guy, serving as a lesson that if you think something is suspicious, document it somewhere. Schulte's father, Sean Paul, has received numerous tips from the community, giving way to a list of possible persons of interest. Among that list, Jensen explains to News Nation, is Laundrie. He adds that until it can be proven, Laundrie was not in the area at the time of the double homicide. He can't be ruled out. Jensen, with 25 years of experience, has taken on the Schulte and Turner case pro bono. Authorities are continuing to search for Laundrie, and the FBI has issued a warrant for his arrest. Now, remember, this is old content. FBI has issued a warrant for his arrest, blah, blah, blah. This was older information. I'm going to go back up here to play this information, News Nation. This is abc4.com if you need verification. Thank you all for joining me.
Is in any way connected to the deaths of a newlywed couple whose bodies were
I'll
found
just play a little bit of this.
Police have said no, but not everybody is convinced. Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner were found dead at a popular tourist destination near Arches National Park. That's near Moab, Utah, on August 18th. The last time that this couple was seen alive was August 13th. That happens to match a similar time frame that Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie were in Moab. Another coincidence, Kylen worked at the co-op where Gabby and Brian reportedly had gotten into an argument. Couple of things crossing paths here. Well, then there's this. A strange phone call from Kylen and Crystal saying that they had moved their campsite because of a creepy man nearby. Again, police have come out and they have said on numerous occasions that these cases are not connected. There's a private investigator that's taking a second look. Jason Jensen is joining us live tonight. We appreciate your time. I think a lot of people had these same questions.
Let me go back and see. Say that again. Hold on.
So coincidences here.
1 minute.
So let's start with this creepy man. This couple moves their campsite because they saw this man. What have you learned and been able to uncover about who this was and how they're connected?
Sure. I appreciate you having me on. In light of all the circumstances that you just described, leads a curious, reasonable-minded wonder if these two cases are connected. The problem is, though, from an investigative standpoint, is we don't know where Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito were between the 13th and the 14th or 15th, which is actually the time frame we believe that Kylen and Crystal were murdered, which would be, you indicated the last seen was the 13th, which actually was nearly midnight of the 13th, so almost the 14th. And at that point, they were leaving a friend's house to go back to their camp. And at that point, they hadn't been heard and were a no-call, no-show for work at 5:30 in the morning on the 15th, which was Sunday. So all of Saturday's in play that this could have happened to them. And what I would expect to happen in light of the police encounter that Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie encountered on the 12th, that they were separated to be apart till the 13th, the next morning. So most people would probably pack up, Gabby would drive over to the Bowen Motel, pick up Brian, and they would leave town. So unless there's some kind of evidence to show that they were actually still in town on the 14th, I would expect they took off and were somewhere else in Utah.
The timeline of all this, Jason, starts to get really complicated and trying to match up all of these dates. I want to focus on this creepy man that they called about. Has anybody else witnessed that behavior, saw that man? What have you been able to uncover?
That's really who we're looking for. I mean, really, at the time of all of this, he was still their neighbor at this campsite, and they got a bad vibe from this guy. So we wonder who this guy is, and I don't think that there's a coincidence that somebody else is the murderer. I think it's really this creepy guy because they got bad vibes. And if you know anything about Kylen and Crystal, they were very down-to-earth people. They were not debutantes that somebody, would be beneath them. So it would take a lot for this guy to be creepy in their eyes.
Did they describe him? I mean, other than being creepy, a description of what he looked like?
I wish they had. I wish they would have took a picture of the car, described the guy, got a license plate number. In fact, my advice as a lesson learned from all this, if you think somebody's creepy and your life's in danger, document it some way. You're texting that, hey, we might have to move. This guy came back with more clothes and food, but why would you not, convey something more specific that could help if you thought your life was at risk?
Take a picture, right? We've all got our cell phones. So I want to go back to this. Police say the deaths of Crystal and Kylen, unfortunate, tragic, but that they are not connected to Gabby Petito's death or the search for Brian Laundrie. What is it particularly that you think there may be some connection that keeps having you come back to this one point?
Well, anyone that's been following the case knows that Kylen's father, Sean Paul, was at Moab for a whole month after the murder, and he opened in the park what he called the clue booth, and people from all around the community was bringing information to him about, this guy's been acting weird, this guy's strange, you might want to have police look at this guy, and so forth. So he amassed a large list of potential persons of interest, and one of them we can't help but add to the list, which is Brian Laundrie, because until we can prove he was out of the area, in light of all of these circumstances that you outlined, of course, he has to be considered until he's adequately ruled out.
So you have 25 years experience as a private investigator. You took on this case pro bono because you were interested in it. You had a lot of questions that the public has about Crystal and Kylen's death, and you have put together a list of people you think could be suspects, and what you're telling me is Brian Laundrie is currently on your list based on what you have uncovered so far.
Right, including the fact that given the fact that when they describe this guy as a creepy guy, they're not saying his name, so it's somebody that they're completely unfamiliar with. Obviously somebody like a Brian Laundrie that's from out of town, they don't know who he is, so they don't know who to say is bothering them. So if it was somebody that they worked with or somebody that, they were neighbors with, they'd say, hey, Bob is bothering us, we're going to move or something. So clearly this is somebody that was giving them bad vibes that they were unfamiliar with that creeped them out. So clearly somebody that was staring at them or acting inappropriately.
Okay, everybody. Very viable information. That's by News Nation Now. I don't know. You made great points. If it's somebody that you know, you'll call them by their name. Obviously, they didn't know him. So who is this creepy person? How long was this person at the campsite? How long were they camping there? Did he come camp there before they were there, or he came camped after they got there, or around the same time they got there? This commentary tells you that they moved their van, their tent, whatever they took with them. So now you have to ask yourselves, if I'm complaining to somebody that somebody's creepy, and then we have verification that they moved, or they called somebody and said, hey, we're moving, we moved. How are we now talking about two dead people that moved? So then that means the person who creeped them out beforehand followed them, because I have information in another commentary that he parked closer to their vehicle. So where is he? What happened to him? This is very, very disturbing information. ABC4.com is the source for this information that I just brought to you. Thank you all for joining me. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is just very, very, just very scary. Okay. What happened to the newlyweds killed in Utah? News Nation is the source. This is uploaded October 29th. Updated October 29th. The Gabby Petito case shined a spotlight on the unsolved slaying of newlyweds Crystal Turner and Kylen Schulte. The couple was killed around the same time Petito and Brian Laundrie were in the Moab area. Cindy Sue Hunter discovered the newlyweds' bodies near a campsite outside the small tourist town. I saw a body in the water and I immediately turned away, Hunter, a family friend, told News Nation. I didn't want to know that the body was there, that a body was there. I wanted to be wrong. The pair who lived at the wilderness campsite had previously told friends a guy camping nearby gave them the creeps. They had told their friends at the bar, this is my understanding, it could be different, that there was a creepy dude, a creeper dude, and he was too close, Hunter said. The night of August 13th, the couple went to Woody's Tavern. Then they visited with friends who begged them not to go back to the campsite. It's the last time they were seen alive. I think they thought they were safe, Hunter said. They knew they needed to move. They were comfortable, even though they made the offhanded comment that if they were murdered, it was him. I don't think they ever thought that was going to happen, or I don't think they would have went back up there. So let me say this, read this again. They knew they needed to move. So what I'm wondering, did they move or they didn't move? Which is it? When days went by with no word from them, Kylen's dad, who lives out of state, called Hunter, asked if she could help. I drove around for almost 5 hours, stopping people, showing them pictures, asking if they'd seen them, telling them, please, if you see them, this car, the girls, call the police, Hunter said. She eventually spotted the couple's car before making the horrifying discovery. A newly released affidavit for a search warrant reveals the women were sexually assaulted and shot multiple times. After 2 months, Hunter is frustrated that more information has not been released. We know nothing, Hunter said. They told us Brian Laundrie is not involved. They told us that we're safe, but they don't tell us why. None of us feel safe. Hunter is also still mourning the loss of her friends. They just lived life to the fullest, Hunter said. Anytime you saw them, they were just happy, friendly, and warm, and it just made you feel good. The Grand County Sheriff's Office, the Utah State Bureau of Investigations, and the FBI are working on the case. A private investigator is also looking into the couple's slaying. The Moab Police Department is not involved in the investigation, but Assistant Chief Braden Palmer admits it's left residents on edge. I think it's safe to say that the community is concerned, Palmer said. Anyone with information related to the case is asked to call the Sheriff's Office at 435-259-8115. And there's information they've got playing pertaining to these to this story. Hold on one second, you guys. I'm trying to pull this up for you guys. If I can drag it back.
Anytime you saw and warm, and they just made you feel good.
The pair lived at a wilderness campsite 45 minutes outside of town and told friends a guy camping nearby gave them the creeps. The women, before they were killed? Was there a text sent about a creeper?
Well, they had told their friends at the bar, this is my understanding, that it could be different, that there was a creeper dude, and he was too close.
The night of August 13th, the couple went to Woody's Tavern, then visited with friends who begged them not to go back to the campsite. It's the last time they were seen alive.
I think they thought they were safe. They knew that they needed to move. They weren't comfortable. But even though they made the offhanded comment, if we were murdered, it was him. I don't think they thought that was ever going to happen. I don't think they would have went back up there.
When days went by with no word from them, Kylen's dad, out of state, called Hunter, asking if she could help.
Well, I drove around for almost 5 hours, stopping people, showing them pictures, asking if they'd seen them, telling them, please, if you've seen this car or these girls, call the police.
But some intuition, drove her a little bit further. That's when she spotted the couple's car, and nearby made a horrifying discovery.
I saw a body in the water, and I immediately turned away. I didn't want to know that was a body there. I wanted to be wrong.
Then she waited for authorities to show up. What has happened since in terms of the investigation?
Nothing.
Their campsite. Over here, somebody had a campfire ring.
That's why Salt Lake City private investigator Jason Jensen decided to come do some investigating of his own.
We've seen tragedy this year, tragedy like we've never seen before in Moab.
And though the Moab Police Department is not involved in this investigation, Assistant Chief Braden Palmer admits it's left residents on edge.
I think it's safe to say that the community is concerned.
2 months later, Cindy Hunter is frustrated that the murders are still unsolved. Do you think there's a killer in this area? Do you think it's someone who just moved through? I'm sure, but telling you, I just don't know. I wish I did. Another mystery highlighted by Gabby Petito's visit here, but still no answers.
We know nothing. They told us that Brian Laundrie's not involved. They've told us that we're safe, but they don't tell us why. None of us feel safe.
All right, that's News Nation. Now, if you need a source, I'm going to bring you one more source of information. Hold on 1 second. I've gotten warm in here. This heat is killing me. Just a second, you guys. Thank you for joining me. One more source of information. Then we will get on to our infamous case out of Rogersville, Tennessee. Happy holidays to everybody. Prayers for the children and the missing and those who have been recently deceased. Amen. This is the article I've been looking for. For some reason, it won't upload, but I was able to find it again because this one has very interesting information. Hold on 1 second. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Soul Survivor. Thank you so much. Oh, this one has more information that we hadn't heard of before. This is by CBS 2 KUTV. Warrants in Moab murders revealed second vehicle, multiple gunshots, creepy man. This was uploaded 2.5 months ago, September 9th. Unsealed search warrants have shed more light on the investigation for the murder of 2 women in Moab, Utah area, where a $20,000 is currently offered for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of people responsible for their deaths. The bodies of Kylen, Schulte, 24, and Crystal Turner, 38, were found on August 18th at a campsite in South Mesa area of the LaSalle Mountains. The unsealed search warrants say the pair was found dead in a nearby creek, partially undressed with multiple gunshot wounds to the bodies. It was previously only reported the women were shot. I also now just brought you information that they were sexually assaulted. I did not know that they were sexually assaulted. So here we have found dead in a nearby creek, partially undressed, and with multiple gunshot wounds to the bodies. It was previously only reported the women were shot. The wounds were located on the back, sides, and or chests of the victims, the court documents state. They were reported missing 2 days before their bodies were found, and documents state that Schulte had told friends there was a creepy man around their camp that intimidated the women, the documents state. Information from the warrants say that both bodies were undressed from the waist down at the campsite that had normal amenities for a long-term campsite were observed. Investigators located a single camp tent and a makeshift rabbit shelter. The pair was last seen at Woody's Tavern in Moab, August 13th. Bar security footage shows the women leaving approximately 8:30 p.m. And we also have information that I just brought to you from my last source that they went to a friend, hung out, told the friends about the incident, but continued onward to the campsite after telling the friends that the guy creeped them out. So they left their friend's house anyway, even though the friends begged them to stay, but they left anyway. Police seized a Kia Sorento from the campsite where the women were found dead, but also obtained a search warrant for a second vehicle, a 1987 Ford Econoline van that was left in the parking lot in Moab and was towed. With the warrant, they searched the van where documents detailed that investigators found a journal, a Bible, newspaper clippings, miscellaneous mail, and pay stubs for the two victims, as well as mail for a family member of one of the women, notes with phone numbers and other handwritten information. Some of the paperwork indicated the women had a storage unit that the family member helped pay for. Police contacted a family member who lives in another state. He told investigators the women shared custody of a storage unit and had access to it. He also granted police permission to search the storage unit to help an investigation of the double murder. A local business contractor in Grand County offered a $10,000 reward in the case that was matched by a second $10,000 reward by a private citizen on September 2nd, as announced by the Grand County Sheriff's Office. A vigil of the slain women on August 31. Friends and community members passed flowers and lit candles and lanterns at Moonflower Community Cooperative where Schulte, 24, worked. Those who knew Schulte said that she and Turner, 38, were recently married and both worked in town. Cindy Sue Hunter said the couple was beautiful inside and out. We just had an instant connection, she said. They were just very special people. Officials with the Grand County Sheriff's Office said they believe someone killed the women and fled the area. So we do know that the Econoline van, is a Ford, was their vehicle. It had paperwork in there related to the two women. And a Kia Sorento was also seized, but I do not know if that was a car belonging to them or somebody else. Thank you all so much for joining me. No, I did not know that they were sexually assaulted either. So that's new information on the books pertaining to the women. Partially disrobed, both sexually assaulted. So we have to ask ourselves, are we talking about one killer or two? Because what is one person doing while the other person is being sexually assaulted? We have heard cases of one person sexually assaulting two women. Usually he has a gun. He's pointing it at one person that he's sexually assaulting. The other one is so fearful they won't run in fear of leaving this person alone with this person being sexually assaulted. So what do? Do you stay while they are sexually assaulting the person? Or do you run to try to get help? Run for your safety? Or do you stay behind? This is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Very terrible. Well, Rand says it's personal. I don't know if it's personal or not. I can't say, because we have sick people out here that do horrible crimes to people, shoot, stab. You know, a lot of people think strangling a person is personal, but strangers have choked women in sexual assaults and rape. People have been stabbed more than 15, 20, 30 times. They didn't know their victim. And then people have been shot by people multiple times. They didn't know their victim. You really can't say. But I do find it interesting. We do not have a timeline of Petito and Bryant during that 13th, 15th of August, around the time these women went missing. We do know they were in that area. We do know they argued at that co-op where Miss Schulte worked. That's enough for me to say, hey, he ain't been proven seen on camera in another state or 20, 30 miles away at the same, you know what I mean? Same jurisdiction. I mean, out of the jurisdiction. Show me a camera where he was so far away, he couldn't have been near the ladies to do anything to them. It's crazy. I don't know. Anyway, thank you all so much for the information. Listening to the information. I want to thank Profiling Evil. And of course, this News Nation brought this information about the women. And we've got Mr. Eaton giving his commentary. And thank you, sir, for joining in, trying to get information pertaining to these two women because their story needs to get out there. As I brought you information before, there have been some other incidents pertaining to Grand Teton and the general area, and also other deaths of people in other parks. I also brought you that information of 10 deaths. Very creepy information. I don't know what the hell's going on with these parks, but I wouldn't feel safe living out there. Channel 2 News KUTV is the source for this last bit of information about the 2 cars seized from the scene. This is horrific news because what are we talking about? What are you talking about down there? This is sickening to know these women were killed. And even if they weren't sexually assaulted, it doesn't even matter to me. That just makes it worse to know 2 people are lying side by side being hurt and harmed, watching the other one be assaulted, shot. So you already know what your fate's going to be. Your wife just got shot, sexually assaulted. Now it's my turn. Who wants to watch that unfold? Nobody. So I pray they find the suspects. And I still don't believe Mr. Lowry killed himself. I just got a funky feeling about that. I just refuse to believe somebody traveled from Texas, went out to eat, bought a tent, and then killed themselves in a park. He could have killed himself at home, killed himself in his apartment, house, condo, wherever he lived. Why am I going to travel way out of nowhere, no man's land, buy a tent to kill myself? This is crazy to me. Next story, part 2 of this live is Summer Wells. Where is Summer Wells? There's been more shenanigans going on with the bio donors showing out on social media, wanting their 5 minutes of fame. Some of you have gladly given it to them, and I guess some could say I've participated by talking about them, but it is what it is. When will there be an arrest in the case of Summer Wells? When will we get digital information back to give us some information pertaining to where the parents actually were on June 15th? Okay? What information does TBI and the FBI have pertaining to June 15th? Any other eyewitnesses, informations, anything that can be verified, the parents' whereabouts? Is there digital footprint, blueprint to show that these people went outside of the places that they mentioned on June 15th? That is said information. I will drop the link if you'd like to give your commentary pertaining to the suicide of Brian Laundrie, the connection between the 2 women in Moab who were found dead, shot, sexually assaulted. And will there be an arrest in the case of Summer Wells? We are now in month 5. Where is this case going? The shenanigans on social media pertaining to the bio donors is out of control. There's no end in sight of the buffoonery and the fuckery. Excuse my language. It's time for this party to get shut down. Sadly, it's the holidays. The children, boy children, will not be with immediate family. But the flip side is, do you really want these kids celebrating Thanksgiving with these buffoons? Hell to the no. Hell no. They deserve better than what was dealt to them and Summer. So we're going to pray that they have a happy Thanksgiving, wonderful holiday season, and that they learn to adjust to their new surroundings because it's easy to say, well, that's all they know. That's all they know. Well, sometimes what you know ain't good enough, and that ain't good enough. I will be dropping the link if you'd like to come up and give your opinion pertaining to the said stories that I've mentioned in this live. Thank you all so much for joining me. And welcome our new mod, Justice for All. Thank you. Hell, if I can see. Y'all queen is just... she barely getting along, honey. Pray for her. Good grief. I've been feeling just... This cold air is not working for me. We are not getting along. I need to be somewhere where it's a little bit warmer. Because this ain't working for me. Hope everyone is well. Hope you all are staying warm out there. And let's pray for our homeless people out here. There are people who are homeless. I don't know how they can stand it. But let's pray for all the homeless people out in this weather, because this is not the season to be outside sleeping, slumbering. Amen. Because there's no appropriate time to be homeless, but, you know, winter, I guess, to some would be considered worse than summer months. Thank you all for joining me. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to the suicide of Brian Laundrie. What was found? Will there be ballistic testing to the ballistics of the women found deceased out west? Schulte and Turner. Is Laundrie connected to that case? Is there a phantom boogeyman out there killing, sloughing off people in the Grand Teton general area? Where was Brian Laundrie when these women were at the tavern and when they were murdered? Where was Brian Laundrie? And where will the Summer Wells case end up? Will we be looking up come December 15th and still be talking about Summer Wells? Nobody, no nothing. No arrests, no new clues, no sources, no verified information pertaining to the disappearance of Summer Wells. Hit the link. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Oh, don't be shy. Come on, you little pilgrims. Come join the fun. Oh my God, homeless and lonely. Well, you know, you can be having a place to live and be lonely. You ain't got to be just homeless and be lonely. Believe me. Ooh, that's a lot of information. I need a break, so I need somebody else to come up here and chit-chat. Because I come up for air. Golly. I wish some of this information I could have more on audio than me having to read all this information. But thank you all so much for joining me. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to Brian Laundrie's death ruled a suicide. The connection between Schulte and Turner. Did he kill those women? Is this an act of another man, woman, one person, two people? What are we saying? Yeah, that was a lot of information. But I always look in the queue for different sources of information. That way you can get a gist of this, because every information is not the same. Even if it's uploaded at the same time, each article will have something that another article won't have. So I've learned now, thanks to Mr. Chris Thorns. He gave me that advice a couple months ago. Always go in and backtrack the articles from the current to the least current to get your information, because, you know, each article will have something different. No, the co-op is totally different than the restaurant incident. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion. Ooh, Lord, it's a slow run. 91 viewing, they can't even hit the link. Lord Jesus. But then if I don't go live, it's like, well, she don't go live. She uploaded a video. She didn't have no chat. Well, y'all can't hit the link, but you can comment and worry about the commenter on. It's very baffling to me. Anyway. Well, I guess I'll go back to watching the Housewives of Potomac. I'm recapping the old seasons. I can be doing that. Because that's been thoroughly enjoyable. Oh, I hear Jeopardy music playing. Well, they probably sexually assaulted them before killing them, dear. That's usually how it works. Now, there are people who like to have sex with dead bodies, but I got a feeling these women were assaulted first and then killed. Okay, thank you, Justice. Justice, me and you can have a show because they this is why I can go live. This is what they don't understand. I can go live and don't even have a chat. YouTube gives us that option. So this is why I always tell people don't complain about stuff, because when you have the option to hit the link, you don't even hit it. So I can go live and don't have no link and have no chat. You'll just be hearing me talk or see my face up there. It can go how I see fit. What do you mean your system's messed up? Call from your phone, dear. Just call from your phone. You don't need your computer. Just hit the link from your phone. 91 viewing. Thank you all so much. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you all for the lovely donations for the coffee maker. I haven't made the coffee yet. Tomorrow morning will be my morning to do the coffee because I had leftover coffee earlier. And then I also had hot tea because my throat's been a little scratchy. So tomorrow will be my first day turning that bad girl on. She better work too. Because I can't believe what they charge for coffee makers. I'm just like, my goodness. They act like it's a iPad. Lord have mercy. Y'all got to get cords and it's almost 1 a.m. in Tennessee and y'all are talking, I got to go get my charger. I got to go get this. Jesus wept. I'm dead. 2 people saying, hang on. Hit the link, you guys. Come on. New information now. Laundrie killed himself. What do you think about that? What do you think about the placement of finding the information when the parents went into the swamp? What do you think about that? Profiling Evil made great points in his video that I played tonight. Very strange how all that unfolded in that swamp. The skull being found, the ballistics to give the rendering that he killed himself. Is he linked to the murder of these 2 women that were married? Where was he the night these women were brutally killed? It's a lot of questions and no answers. And where is the case of Summer Wells going? Will we get a suspect or suspects in the disappearance of Summer Wells? When will the buffoonery end pertaining to this child? We need answers and we want them now. Sorry. Drinking water. Got to stay hydrated. My ice cubes are jingling. Guess I'm about to go in there and make me some hot tea. That tea I got, I think that's Celestial something. That peach tea, boy, that tea is good. I put a little lemon in there. The other night I tried me some new whiskey and I put a little of that Henderson whiskey in there. Child, I thought I was in heaven. I don't know where I thought I was. Excuse me. I said, shoot, I could drink this all the time. Lord have mercy. Hit the link, you guys. Come on now. Lord, here come one. Here come one victim. Well,
Hey, Queen,
hello.
how you doing?
I am doing great. Was a little moody earlier, but I'm just letting the Lord take care of it. And other than that, I'm tired. I've ran around tonight,
Is
and
there Shalonda?
come back in. You know how it is when you got bags of stuff and you really just don't feel like unloading stuff. I hate doing that. It's just a pet peeve of mine. I hate unloading stuff because it seems like it takes me forever. It's like I'm kind of like my mom. She was a chronic shopper, and I can't even explain how her house looked when she died, but it was filled with new stuff in bags. It was a hoarder's dream, a nightmare for the rest of us who are OCD. But I think of that like, oh, here I am coming in with chips and this and that, and an ottoman that a neighbor sat out, beautiful leather ottoman with studs going around. Honey, you ought to see that bad boy sitting in my living room. I'm crazy. And you can lift it up and put stuff in it.
Oh, really?
You ought to see me trying to haul that damn thing in tonight. Before I ran around, I was like, well, I said, these neighbors, I believe they've got a little pocket change. This is the time of the year when people start swapping out their goods in their house because they're getting new stuff. I said they're probably getting some new furniture.
Definitely.
So they decided to get rid of this nice little ottoman. Okay, enough of me rattling on. Which one you want to start with? Bride Laundry?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, baby. Take it away.
So my question is, so you actually don't think he committed suicide?
I don't. That's
a lot of people don't.
I think he did. I mean, why would I think he didn't?
I don't know. I thought you were saying earlier that you just said it was strange or something.
Yeah, I was going by the information that Profiling Evil gave, which I agree with most of the things, just about everything he said in his commentary. I agree with all of it. Was strange. The setup of how he was found,
right?
The parents going in, voila, you find then the stuff about notebooks and this and that, and now we get suicide. So now we have to ask ourselves, what was found alongside the jaw or the skull? I mean, the skull. That means he shot himself in his head. Then, so what are the ballistics? Are they going to compare those ballistics also to the two ladies out in Moab? You see where I'm going?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to take it there, or how's this going to work?
I think there is a lot of similarities as far as the ladies out in Moab versus how Gabby died as well. Okay. Gabby was found very close to the creek, right?
Because I think they said Brian, when he was walking it, you had to jump over it to get over to where she was.
Yes, she was. And the couple, they were found. Was it in the creek?
Well, one article says nearby, and then I think one may have said near. So I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of similarities.
Almost like a staging. Can we go there?
Yeah, of course, it could be a staging, but it could also, a lot of people, they want, water to wash away evidence, DNA, that kind of thing as well.
Very true. Very good observation.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't think, my personal opinion is, I don't think Brian did it.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't think that he did it. I don't know, though. I mean, there's a lot of,
But you can see how people would think because of the fact that where they fought on the 12th, where they fought on that, the incident at the co-op, that's just creepy because you have to do that 6 degrees of separation thing. Petito and Laundrie are from a whole different state. They derived from New York. They lived in Florida. They traveled all the way out west. What are the odds that two people would fight in front of a co-op or at the co-op, however you want to word it? Later, that girl gets strangled, assumingly by him, and then we find out 2 other women one that worked at the co-op go missing and lately brutally murdered both. 6 degrees of separation.
They were what, shot?
Yes, and
Were they
raped.
shot? Yeah, shot and raped. But in the beginning, I had read, can't give you a source,
Okay.
allegedly, whatever, that they were raped with objects.
Oh Lord, come on, no justice. What?
So, I don't,
So
you know,
somebody had time with them, if that's true.
mhm, if that's the case,
That's
if
scary.
that's the case, um, you know, I mean, if you're raped in today's, you know, DNA and everything, there would have to be some sort of touch DNA, even if there was protection or anything. Don't you think?
So you what? So oh God, don't tell me. You think the perpetrator used a condom?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying even if he used a condom or anything
Okay.
like that, there would have to be some sort of
So
touch
you leave
DNA.
things behind because naturally we all have, you
Yeah,
know,
or at
hairs
least
and things.
skin, you know,
So yes.
and everything else.
Okay, let me ask you this. Did you ever think about this? One shooter, two shooters.
One.
One? Why you
Mhm.
say one?
I think, you know, I mean, honestly, if your girlfriend's laying there with a gun to her head
Uh-huh.
and they say don't move, are you gonna move?
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
Yeah,
and that's why I
I
asked
mean,
the question to
that's
people
just
in the chat. Would you run? Would you try to run to get help? Would you try to beat up the person? What would you do? Because I know it's easy to say what we would do until we're faced with that situation.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. So,
Well, what would
yeah,
you do? Are you going to ask yourself that? What would you do?
well, that's, you know, I really try to put myself in these situations, and
Okay.
you know, I mean, if somebody has a gun to you or your girlfriend's head,
Yeah.
and you have to think about it, or I mean, and they say don't move. I mean, they've obviously came already this far to put a gun to my head.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
gonna take him seriously.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not going to try to do anything until the moment's just right.
Okay.
Then
Well,
shot the
let's
clock.
go here. Why didn't they leave? Because one article says they moved, and the woman spoke, the friend spoke and said they were going to move. So did they move or did they not move their campsite? If they did move their campsite, why the hell would you stay? Because I got information in one of the articles that said he parked closer to them. So it's like he was edging closer. What is this? This is
Yes,
crazy.
I did see the thing where he was edging closer. That's an older article, correct? Isn't it an older?
Yeah, most of them were October.
I think that
I've
was an
got
old,
some that were late October.
yeah.
But I would
Um,
leave. If I see you creeping around too close to where I am, whether it's by the tent, by the van, I'm out of there. I'm getting ready to go
deuces.
talk to my partner, whatever. Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go, because Pookie
Right,
is getting too close.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. Okay, now let's go with number 3, which is the big elephant in the room.
Mm.
Is this a hate crime? Because there was 2 women married together in each
I
other's
think it's very
company.
possible.
Yes,
Unfortunately, there's
yes.
still human beings in the world that,
Because I did think about that. Because that's one thing most people haven't really touched on. Because we were
yeah.
so wrapped up with the Brian Laundrie vicinity and
Mhm.
them being out there. Let's just go with the obvious. These are 2 women together. Somebody felt some type of way. Look at them. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to get them. Was this robbery? See, those are the things nobody's asking. Because
Yeah.
usually when people are killed out in places like that, robbery is the motive.
Robbery or hate,
Yeah, yeah,
just pure hate.
yeah.
You
But
know, hatred
but when
towards.
it's a single person, it's usually robbery. They know you're out there. They know you got a debit card. They know you got something.
Mhm.
Unless you just a sadist want to
That's
assault a
right.
woman, of course. But
That could be another, you know, just someone who loves to kill people, loves
yeah, because
to
a
hurt.
guy did this before from Florida. An older guy was going up in the mountains, killing people, and it was for robbery. He would go stalk them out, following behind them, the gawking. They're not paying attention because they're enjoying the outdoors. He would kill them and then rob them of all their goods. He'd jump back in his car, head up the highway, go to the next park. He was doing this. This was his livelihood.
Right.
robbing people in national parks.
Hmm. But you know, I can also see, you know, Brian and Gabby out there fighting, and one of those girls, you
Said
know,
something. I thought that.
coming out there and being like, "Yo, what are you doing? Don't be
Yeah,
messing with her," you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
stupid
yeah.
idiot, you
Being a
know,
right
and
fighter. Yes, yes,
you
yes.
know,
I thought about that too.
I can see that happening as well. Um, but it's do you know anything if they found a phone at the
Yes,
crime scene?
that's what I read in the information that I brought you. They are
Uh-huh.
chopping up all of that. They called from the phone. They're doing all that digital right now on their
I
phone.
think this is what's going to be that's going to solve the case
Uh-huh.
personally.
Yeah.
I think that I don't care if it's a burner phone, you know, a $20 track phone. You know, I think that it's going to take, you know, it's going to take some digging and everything, but I think they'll figure it out, this case.
Yeah. So what I was also curious about, the Ford van is theirs, but they also seized a Kia Sorento, which everybody knows that's a SUV. So I'm wondering, whose car is that? Is that one of the other girls' car, or somebody who left it there because it was towed? Because in the article I read, one of the articles I read, it said they believe the perpetrator. Well, the police said, we believe the perpetrator fled.
Hmm. Now,
Well, of course he, excuse me, of course he would.
right.
Excuse me. Whew.
You get you some tea, mama. You
I
gotta
know
get
allergies.
tea.
Oh my gosh,
Get
I feel clogged up.
oh, it's
So,
just
are we talking about? What are we saying here? Drifter, robber, what?
well, you know, another thing I was thinking about, you know, the friend said, "Oh my God, we begged them to
Yes,
stay here and
yes.
everything."
Mm-hmm.
If my friend, I'm not saying the friends had anything to do with this or anything, but
Okay, go ahead.
if the friends, you know, if my friend was saying, you know, there's this really creepy van next, you know, door, he's been getting closer and everything, wouldn't you be like, well, what does the guy look like? What has he been doing? What's he driving?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you ask that?
That's what they're saying in the article. Wished it was more.
I know, but like,
Audrey is saying the Kia was the girls,
okay,
the other truck SUV. I mean,
I just can't see like two people having a, you know, yeah,
I
I'm going up.
understand when you're engaged in a conversation, you usually ask people. Somebody starts telling you, like, yeah, he or she
Well,
was creeping around. You'll say, well, what he look like?
yeah, you want to know more. What the hell's he driving? What's his problem? You know, you want to get deeper into, especially if it's your friend. Um,
But let's go here. Then, since you're
mhm,
opening that gate.
mhm,
Why did they not stay with their friends?
exactly. I mean, it's a good question.
You're going
Did
back in the dark, probably.
you know?
This is crazy to me.
This is such a conspiracy theory I'm throwing out here, and I'm not a
I know.
conspiracy theorist
Yeah, I try not to
at
do
all
it either.
whatsoever. But you know, it's like, well, what if? I mean, do we know for sure that these two people was really good friends?
Boy, you are leaning on that. Where are you going with this,
Well,
Judge?
what I'm saying is could these could could the friend could they have gotten in a big fight that night or something, and then you know, in the middle of the night they go out
Mama
there,
went out there and killed them?
right? I'm
Oh,
not. It's a huge you know, but
ooh, honey,
I,
that's one for the books right there.
it is, but these things happen
Well,
as
this
well,
is
you
true
know.
because we don't like to think the worst of people, but in the end, that makes no sense because we're talking about two dead people. So, like they say, all bets are off. You don't know. You don't know. Nobody was there to say what is what. And that's the thing about a story. Everything is on the word of whoever is spinning the web, such
That's
as
right.
like with the case at Rogersville. All you have is what somebody said they did last with a kid. But other than that, I wasn't there. I don't know.
Right. I just want to know more about the friend. I don't know anything, zero about the friend. So I'll be very upfront with that. She could have been the best
What about this?
friend ever, but I just want to
Have
know.
they spoken?
Have they what?
Have they spoken publicly?
Exactly. Exactly my
'Cause I
point.
think it's
Or
weird. We've got this lady who's the go-to person to go find the bodies, but where are the people who were last with them to say, "Hi, I'm Susie May, and I'm such and such," and we were the last ones to see him, and we tried to get them to stay behind, but they were adamant about going back to the campsite. I get your point.
Mhm.
Hello, who done it? Who done it? How are you?
Hello, good evening to you. Good to
Honey.
talk to you.
Hi, baby. You finally made it.
Well, I was doing my best and working real hard.
Honey,
and,
you can't look. You came up on this old hill, did you not?
I did. I jumped on up there, girl. Now I need to go get me something to drink.
This is a Southerners
I'm telling you,
tea right now.
I'm up here on my own hill, trying to mind my own business.
That's okay, honey. Well, you in some grown folk business right now.
I am. I was listening to all this, and I'm thinking, oh my Lord, we really have pulled a head out of a rabbit. This
came in with the boot strapped up, got us like, oh Lord.
I know.
Honey, look, my whiskey bottle calling me right now with some TS.
Oh my God. Justice came to play, and I heard all that. That was pretty fascinating.
Okay, what start us off with Brian Laundrie, Miss Whodunit?
All right, Brian Laundrie. Oh my God. See, I had thought I had remembered that I'm talking not about the co-op where the guy spotted them fighting outside. That's not the place I'm talking about.
You talking about when they went to get the food? When they got the food,
Pig, right? Where he was arguing about.
That's the last place
in the restaurant.
In the last place,
right. I thought those women were there.
No.
They were not. Okay.
No.
I went off
to our knowledge. That's not what we said.
Gotcha. Okay. My choo-choo jumped the track
Now,
on that.
there has been a woman from the restaurant who was sitting right next.
Giving her account. Yes.
Yeah, giving her account.
Okay. Maybe that's where I got confused. All right.
So what do you think about where that has been deemed a suicide, his death?
Yeah.
The skull that was found. What do you think about all of that information that is now been said it's a suicide?
Well, I was listening earlier to someone who was saying, I think your report earlier, where you can actually detect if it's suicide, if a gun has been placed to the temple. You can't detect if it had somebody had help, like put the gun to your head.
Yeah, right. Force
blow your brain.
That's true.
But they can tell how close a gun was placed.
Okay.
If it was placed near the temple, the skull would show evidence of that.
Okay.
That was a forensic scientist not associated with the case. Somebody was getting their opinion about it. So
well, what do you think? You think he killed himself or he didn't?
I thought he did. I think he did, but I expected he would hang himself. But on second thought, I said, no, he wouldn't want to suffer. He wanted to be quick, but he didn't see any future for himself. What was it going to be?
Because what he did. Yeah, he did.
Well, he wasn't going to go.
But why go out there? Let's go there. Why go out there? Why not just?
I think everything was tough, personally.
So your parents don't have to look for you. They don't got to hunt you down, search for you. They can still give you a funeral.
Adds to the drama. I don't know. He's just a weird bird. Just weird. And I couldn't begin to get into his head and say why he thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, I just never heard of going out. See, let me tell you something. This case of him going out to the swamp to kill himself is just as crazy as Robert Lowry going out to Grand Teton to kill himself on a trail.
Yes.
I'm going to travel all the way out there from Texas.
Well,
I'm leaving 2 kids behind. And I'm going to buy a tent. I'm going to go get something to eat and then kill myself. Why would I buy a tent if I'm going to kill myself? I don't need a tent if I'm going to kill myself. See, that story, there's something off about that Lowry case.
Well, the thing that's off to me about the Laundrie suicide, so-called, is boy, his parents knew exactly where to look, and
See,
within
that's what I'm
30
talking about.
minutes they
Yes,
found
yes.
all that.
They
So that's
knew
what.
exactly
See, that's
where
what
he was.
Profile of Evil was saying.
Yeah,
You have to admit that's very odd.
really strange for sure.
Justice, what were you going to say about that?
I don't remember. I know, but yeah, I lose
Get
it
that
quick.
whiskey bottle down, boy.
It's the blonde. It's the blonde. It doesn't last very long.
Come on, Chrissy. What's Chrissy? I always love about Chrissy. Three's
No,
Company.
I knew what I was going to say. We was basically saying, why do people do the things that they do? Why would somebody go out there and buy a tent and everything else?
Yeah,
People don't really think a clear. When something is happening as far as a crime,
yeah.
you don't have time to sit there and think. You do a bunch of random things. But not only that, I mean, I live. Well, you know the area I live, but I live in a place where people come uh, from all over the the north and the south to end it. You
Off
know what I mean?
themselves. But
Uh,
that sounds so peculiar because to me it's like you're going to make your family suffer anyway by finding your body if they ever find it. Why make it difficult for them to give you services and all that? It just seems like a lot of work to go off yourself somewhere in a far off place. And
Yeah.
then you may get ravaged by animals, all that. So now people are calling your phone. They're worried. You're not answering. Now they got to call the police to say you're missing. When all you had to do was just kill yourself somewhere close where your body could be found. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah, but when you have nothing to lose, you have nothing to lose.
Okay.
But he was a narcissist, I think, and
I
he
mean,
was enjoying, kind of a Don Wells type,
Mhm.
enjoying creating drama.
Yeah.
He just, he was a drama queen from all
Yeah.
the events that occurred prior to
Yeah.
that. So he's thinking, yeah, okay, people, you don't understand me, you don't get me,
Yeah.
and so here you go. This is my big F you to the
Finale.
world kind of
oh,
thing.
absolutely. I
Okay.
agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, he
So
definitely.
I think he was saying, I'm going to make you work for this storyline.
Right.
I'm going to
Absolutely.
make you work for this story.
Yeah, he
Absolutely.
would have wanted that to
I'm
be
gonna go.
dragged.
I'm gonna go out with the upper hand.
Yes,
You're gonna
my
have to-
way. It's
Yeah.
my way anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great point.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
really, from the beginning, from what we've seen, how everything went down out there allegedly, he was running the show anyway.
Yeah.
With her in the van, the cards, taking the money at the end, very narcissistic.
Very.
Yet come back, take the coward's way out and kill yourself. Go in a damn swamp.
Right. Make a
Yeah.
Kill yourself. It's crazy.
I don't have any desire to, go that way. I'd have something a little more glamorous in my
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who done it?
But-
What do you
but-
think about him killing the girls? Do you think he killed the girls, the ladies?
Well, like I said earlier, until they said that they were sexually assaulted,
Uh-huh.
I'm not so sure he would have been capable. But
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Wait, slow down. What did you just say? You don't think he was capable?
well, I'm not so sure he was. He was kind of a how can I say this
I'm
in a
dead.
really kind
Yeah, I'm
way?
waiting on this answer. You better make this good, 200.
Oh, you done
What
back
you
me in a
think?
corner. You got me
He's
in
a little
corner now.
beanpole.
You know
Yeah,
what? Justice.
it's that kind of night.
Now
Justice,
play
you started
nice.
it. I know.
Now play nice. So what
Yeah.
you saying? You
I-
don't think he could perform? Hello,
I'm
Chris
go-
Thorns.
yeah,
Everybody welcome Chris Thorns in the house.
All right, hello. I don't think he was quite ready for prime time. That's what I think.
So you say you don't think he would have raped the women? Is that what you're saying?
I Well, he was so weird, so dark, so twisted. Let's just go there and say, okay, yeah, he's capable. And he was having, look, did they see something? Did they hear something
That
they
day
shouldn't have
on the
seen
street.
or
Yeah,
heard?
got involved that day.
Right.
Said something.
Did he need to do something to eliminate them for what he knew
Once
they knew?
again, I'll show you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. He was very vindictive. If you crossed him, I mean, look at how he treated Gabby in
Yeah.
public.
What he did to her was just,
Yes.
I mean,
I mean, and
Yeah.
that's the worst thing you can do to a human being is
Crazy.
publicly humiliate them.
Thank
Yes,
you.
exactly.
Mhm.
And
I
he
mean,
didn't.
beat me inside my house, but don't do it out
Yeah, in public. Right. Because that's the thing, is that we don't know what go on behind closed doors in people's homes. That's why people are shocked when people come out and say, he really treats me bad, or she treats me really ugly. First single person to say, well, I don't get that from them. They don't act like that when I'm around. Yeah, because you're not around. You're not around behind closed doors. So you're right. Talk crazy to me behind doors. I don't want you doing it then. But oh hell no, you better not think about getting jiggy in public. Because guess what? This black woman would have left him right there. He'd have got drunk right there on that sidewalk.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Brian
Laundry would have been standing by his damn self, and I'd have went and parked that vehicle somewhere, got me some good sleep, jumped in my vehicle, rolled.
My van. I'm going home. I'm going home.
Hey, every few hours I would have stopped, slept somewhere, jumped up, got my good coffee, jumped in my little van, down the highway. Before you know it, I'm in Florida or back in New York. Bye, Felicia.
Right.
Give a damn about you.
Yeah.
Boy, if I could tell you a story right now, I best not, because y'all be like, Angela, no, you didn't. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm
gonna send you back. Look, I'm gonna send you back the way you came.
I'm up for that story.
Oh, honey, I best not. Listen, I could be a cold heifer.
Well,
let's put it like this: you don't come visit me. You don't come visit me without a round trip ticket or without asking me to send you back.
Yeah.
So if the arrangement is you're coming to visit, then that means you made a way to take your tail back where you came
from. Not that I had to pay for it, right?
That's right. So don't get here and say, I ain't got nothing. Come again?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You ain't got no way back.
Well, listen, I ain't coming to visit unless I'm sent for. I don't just drop in.
I sent them back on his way, and then I found out later. Let me tell you, we're gonna testify now because it's a holiday.
I'm gonna hear it. Yeah.
We're gonna give thanks and praise to the Almighty. Somebody said, "Girl, he been living here. He in Knoxville, honey. He never went back. I didn't see him over here, over there." I thought, well, what did he get? We ain't tell you what we think he was doing, but anyway, because that's a whole nother story. But somehow he got caught up, and he made it way and stayed on.
Well,
but he was supposed to be visiting.
Yes, yes.
You can't expect me to foot your way as a visit. I told him, you're welcome to come stay here a few days to visit. Yes. You came with nothing and not even a ticket back?
Yeah.
Come on. You don't do that.
The king is getting your ass out the door.
Yeah. We'll be seeing you. Why am I still looking at you? Is what I'm thinking.
No. Because Queen ain't really the type to be doing all that eggs and bacon in the morning and that kind of lifestyle. I think that's what he thought he was about to get. Because let me tell you, Queen don't eat bacon and eggs and biscuits when she get up. All I like is a cup of coffee, a plain donut. I have a ritual: a cup of coffee with a little cream sugar, sometimes just sugar. Then I like a plain donut, no icing, no chocolate, nothing. So if you thought you were ready to come up to Big Mama's house and get you some eggs and some bacon and some toast, you use it to your own house. Because why should I do for you what I don't do for my damn self?
Well, I heard that. I'm not much on conversation at first thing in the morning.
But men like doing it. I was talking about, can you cook? Can your mama cook?
Bring your mama.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, just send your mama.
Yeah. She come in the kitchen. She can bring out. Matter of fact, she can bring up her pan and her groceries.
Oh my God.
Oh, woo! Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Mama in the house.
Yeah, mama in the house. Let me tell you something. That catering to people, I just tell you here as of late, catering to people, let me tell you, Queen is burnt out. I don't want to do nothing for nobody. I am burnt out. Let me tell you, Queen is done.
Yeah.
Well,
and I'm speaking to it as a testimony. That. I can't do it. Hello, Crime and Justice. How are you? I can't do it. Well, I'm just catered out. Hey, this week I'm going to a friend's house. She's invited me over for Thanksgiving. I kindly asked her, would she like me to bring anything? She told me no. I said,
Oh, heck
okay.
yeah.
So
Good
guess
Lord.
what? Queen can't wait to get over there and spread out like a fat cat. And I'm going to eat I can't eat no more.
I hear you. That sounds wonderful.
I can't wait. Look, I obliged. I told her, I said, look, can I bring anything? She said, no, you don't got to bring nothing. I got everything. I said, are you sure I can't bring no ice cream or drinks or nothing?
Nothing?
She said, no. And then, we had to get a little black folk humor in there. I said, well, most black folks, she said, most black folks don't bring nothing, no way. She said, but you different. I know you different. You offered. She said, most people, black folks, gospel, they wouldn't do nothing but show up to eat. I said, well, yeah, I'm not like typical black folks. I do offer.
That's right. You were raised right. That's
to bring
right.
something. But look, when I was on Crime Lines the other day, she said she don't want nobody bringing nothing in her kitchen, or was it yesterday? She didn't want nobody bringing nothing in her kitchen.
Well, all right.
I said, hey, I thought you part black. You should have talked about you don't want nobody in your kitchen bringing nothing. You don't want nobody bringing no nasty food up in her kitchen. But black folks are funny about folks in their kitchen.
Well, yeah, I have heard that. Actually, I've heard.
Oh yeah,
Well,
black folks will show out. You get to stand in the kitchen. No, they're gonna ask you what you want.
No, that's well. Look, they can throw down in the kitchen, and I wouldn't want anybody stealing my.
Some of us,
either.
Some of us, not all.
Some can, yeah, right.
Not all of them.
Well,
But
you're right about that.
Yeah, I don't really care. I don't really care for cooking. My cooking days went out the window with my grandmama, because my grandmama was very frugal, and all she didn't teach me how to do all those casseroles and all those dishes that most black folks eat. That woman, chicken. I told my friend last night, I said, if I was to fry chicken right now, that chicken would say, Anya, please put me back. You got me.
Well, my
you
mother
get ready to mess me up. That's be the first chicken that talk. Anya.
My mother was not a good cook.
I just hate doing chicken. I can't do it.
Well, I can't. I didn't learn how to cook I taught myself to cook later, but my mother, what we'd said about her was, if it's smoking, it's cooking. When it's burnt, it's done.
Yeah.
But
if you cook the same thing every day growing up, it was the same thing. Cornbread, chicken. Like, when I got grown, I just refused to touch a chicken. I hate to fry chicken. I just if I look at a chicken and somebody say, "Oh, baby, you know what? I like fried chicken." Well, you better get your ass to KFC.
You got a KFC. All you can eat.
You better go to Hooters.
That's right.
you get some boob, a thigh, and that how you want.
Right. They all you can eat.
What you talking about, Willis? Lord have mercy.
All right, Brian Laundrie.
Okay.
Here's what I'm gonna say about that weird boy.
Okay.
He didn't have any respect for women. Now, I didn't mean to spoil our fun. We're having a good time.
We did have a good, we have a good laugh.
I was trying to bring.
No, we got to bring it back.
My stomach is hurting. I've been laughing too much. So he had no respect for women.
No, he didn't.
As a matter of fact, I think he had a smothering mama.
Mm-hmm. A lot of y'all had different opinions of who you thought was the dominant figure in his life. So I'm going to start with Justice. Justice, who was the dominant figure?
Like with his parents?
Yes.
That's tough. I want to say Roberta.
Okay.
Yeah.
You say the mother too?
Yeah. I think they were pretty neck and neck, but I think Roberta.
Look how Justice called her name like that's his neighbor. You know that's damn
You and your friend Roberta.
Wait a minute. He didn't say Miss Laundrie. He said, you know that damn Roberta was crazy.
Roberta, she's crazy. She's crazy.
She was crazy. She's very crazy.
Woo, but I tell you too, I don't know too many white Robertas. Come on, Queen. Now you name one white Roberta you know. I'll wait.
No, actually, I do know one white Roberta.
And what is she like?
Like Roberta.
What about you? Who done it?
I have never had a friend named Roberta.
You don't know no white
I'm sorry
Roberta.
to say. I don't know any white Roberta Flack's all I've ever.
That's what you talking about. That's what I'm saying.
Let's
I
go
thought
with it.
I don't like the name Roberta. I don't.
Honey, Roberta sound like somebody that would cut you over a piece of fried chicken. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I've always thought that person's daddy was named Robert, and that was the girl named too.
Yeah.
Roberta.
Mm-hmm. So what you trying to say? Roberta daddy named Robert?
Probably.
Lord have mercy.
I can't fool with y'all. Lord have mercy. One day, look, as we love to say, one day for Thanksgiving, y'all short.
Ain't the truth. Well, woo. I say, yeah, mommy dearest.
Roberta was the dominant one.
I'd say, yeah.
Okay.
I think she. I get torn when I think about that family because something was wrong with that family. I couldn't say with any
if you ate your son,
what went on.
Your son. But let me tell you something. There were people in the chat that was down for what Roberta and that husband were doing. Mm-hmm. I mean, people in the chat say, well, if it's my child, I do whatever. Well, knock yourself out. Because had he lived and they decided to bring up charges, mommy and daddy could have caught a charge for aid. Yeah. So if you think that's cute, then you aid your children in wrongdoing. Good luck with that.
I could see his daddy going off on him big time when he got home or when they kind of realized what had happened. To say,
why you say that? Why?
Well, because what it was going to cost them in legal fees to fight that, to go to, for him to be on trial for that.
Do you think he was a troublemaking child?
No, for heaven's sake, yeah.
Justice, what were you getting ready to say, baby?
No, I mean, I think that the police most likely offered the Laundrie's a deal to,
I've heard people say that. Why you say that?
Because they knew exactly where he was. They went right there, and I mean, shit. How many days did they search for Brian Laundrie? And they're stumbling through. And
Christina has a very good point. That son-in-law better watch himself. Yes, Lord. I said that day one. If you are a party to this, watching these people navigate aiding their son, how in the world could you feel safe being married to their daughter? Because do you know what your wife knew? So that's a very good comment.
Yeah, absolutely.
What did the sister know? Did she lie to America? And what if he sat idly by watching all that shit unfold with them people? He ought to be scared to sleep at night.
One eye open.
Look, Thanksgiving. Are you coming over? No. We going to Shoney's. Hell no, we ain't coming over there.
Guess who's coming to dinner? Yeah. No, thank you.
I tell her, he look like he Hispanic. I let her know. I got all my cousins and nephews. We ain't we ain't expecting me to roast the turkey.
Yeah,
Roberta and her husband they get a pass.
Yeah,
hell no.
You're right about that. That family is highly disturbing to me.
Yeah,
I
thought about that.
Usually, how you can kind of get a feel for people.
Yeah.
I never could. All I could ever think of, they do not do anything that.
I thought that son-in-law. I said to myself, can you imagine what he knows and don't know? And if he isn't involved in any way of knowing of anything, just imagine what he's thinking. These people have aided their son, and I'm married to their little pie-faced daughter. Ain't no way. Boy, did you see that build on her when she came out there? I said, look at Humpty Dumpty in that damn summer dress. Boy, that was a lot of green eggs and ham. I ain't lying.
You're killing me.
Shut your mouth. I seen her come out there, and I told myself, I said, well, Amy, you got a little fat tummy too, but my goodness gracious. She came out there trying to explain herself like a school teacher. I know, girl, if you don't go back in your house and go back and watch the other wrestlers, ain't nowhere in the world I come out there trying to explain nothing to a YouTuber and nobody else. First thing I would have done was came out there with me a shotgun and pow, pow, get off my damn property.
You killing me.
The hell out of here.
See ya.
Look, Crime and Justice says Thanksgiving is canceled. We sick.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You coming over? Hell no, we got COVID. Click. We ain't
Well,
got the phone, Justice.
yeah.
Hey, hell, let it ring. Hell, do like what they did, send a missing persons report. Oh my God, my daughter, she's not answering the phone. We got to call the police and go over there, check on her. Wave a flag out the door.
Surrender, Dorothy.
Yeah, surrender. Yeah, we done. Let me stop. Anything else you want to say about this who done it to this case and the ladies? Or we can go on over to
We
someone
move
else.
on over to Hooterville.
Yeah. All right, Justice, take it from here. Hooterville.
As the hollow term.
Hollerville and Hooterville. Yeah.
So what you got? What do you?
I ain't got nothing. Y'all the one to keep up with every damn thing. Y'all stay all up in them folk dressing George. You know, like remember I told Crime Line yesterday. I said I was thinking about driving up there and putting a basket of a bottle of whiskey in a basket and set it down the driveway.
I was there. I heard you say that.
You heard me say that. My golly, goddamn everyday shenanigans and draw away up here and gave us a bottle of whiskey.
You're a brave woman. You are.
Well, they'll cuss me out, come everything but the child of God, but I bet you they drank that damn whiskey.
No, you know they would.
But wait a minute, I forgot. I believe he likes vodka.
Yeah.
So I'd have to get him some top grade.
Yeah.
Or should I go low ball? Get him something cheap, some kamachaka.
Well, they wouldn't know the difference. If you spend a lot of money on it.
I believe Don Wells know about that kamachaka. Or as us black folks used to call it, come and get me. Now everybody gonna start Googling. That everyday shenanigans said something about kamachaka.
Good. Yeah, they go. I can hear the fingers flying now.
Hey, you think they gonna fry a turkey?
I think Grandis is going to eventually.
You know what? Justice, what is you doing?
What do you want to do?
You talking to somebody? Who is you talking to?
No, I'm saying it's gonna fry turkey out of that camper.
You know what? I can't.
Oh yeah, you can.
No, this is what I want to know. What does the top rooms look like now?
That pink bedroom I saw on Dr. Phil, that freaked me out. Like, oh yeah, this is always, her room has always looked this pretty. Did you see that quick shot of that pink bedroom?
I ain't see it.
Oh, you
on Dr. Phil, they were showing it was like
I ain't see it.
Okay, well, just it was a
my eyelids must have been glued shut.
Well, I wouldn't blame you on that. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of see how would that go. I was curious about it, of course, but yeah, they showed pictures of her bedroom. It was a quick shot of it too. It was painted pink and it had a little dresser and a little bed. Looked like you know.
So that must be for
TV.
Summer number 2.
Yeah, TV.
Anybody, Dr. Phil said they wouldn't let anybody in with cameras until they could clean it. But you know, even.
But that's been months since your kids taken. Wouldn't you be cleaning the house if indeed that was the reason why your children were taken? Your house should be clean by now, right?
Something.
Yeah, that whole house could have been rebuilt in the time those kids have been gone.
Absolutely. I mean, if you have kids, you know, things can get out of sorts at times or whatever, but there's a difference in toys being different places and filth.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And I mean,
but she's been missing for months, though, Justice.
Well, yeah, she's been missing for.
So why would your house not be clean when one, there's no children there to mess up nothing, no clothes to wash, because naturally the kids took something with them. So your house should be clean since June. It's now, when you filmed that was what, October, the Dr. Phil show. You've had months to clean your house. If indeed that was the reason your children were taken, you were supposed to start cleaning the day after you went to court and got the verdict about the kids.
Yes.
This is BS.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
But you can't do a whole lot of work if you're drinking and drugging.
That's what you took the words out of my. Exactly. I mean, if you're laying up, not it out all day out of your mind.
Right.
Hey, listen. Have you ever heard of sitting on the toilet and turning the stove on with your foot?
You are so bad. Ah,
The cookies ready. Candy, the cookies ready.
oh wow.
Hand me the toilet paper and hand me a spatula.
That's
Damn,
right.
I'm dead.
I cannot unsee that. In a long time.
I mean, just imagine that. You're sitting on a commode and you can take your foot and stretch your
and
big
turn
toe
the-
out and turn you down. Turn you down. Turn your
And-
damn stove off.
and answer your front door all at the
Open up.
same time.
Shut your mouth. Can somebody help me with the mail?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wait a minute. So one foot is turning the stove on,
Uh-huh.
and the other foot is opening the front door. You know what I'm dead. I can do magic.
Oh gosh, Lord have mercy.
Look at Justice's face. Your face.
The wheels are spinning.
Yes, I know they're spinning. You're like a ding. You're in the. I don't know if you're in the lottery machine or the doctor's office. Are they gonna tell me I got cancer? Oh my goodness, you look so sick.
This is wrong.
I live like
I'm gonna use the bathroom on myself. I mean, Justice's face was like, what the hell are we talking about?
Hey, you made a good point. You made a good point the other day
Let me see.
on Crime Lines and Lies. You were talking about there are plenty of people, their neighbors live in clean houses.
Yes.
Have, get their kids off to school. They're
Yes, ma'am.
CPS not knocking on their door every
Yes,
other
ma'am.
week, threatening to
ma'am.
take their kids away.
Yes.
Plenty of decent people live out there.
That's what I try to explain to people. That's why I hate when people
Yeah.
ask such crazy questions
Yeah.
about how people live. Do all the people live? Come on, stop being silly.
Yeah.
You know that everybody that lives in New York or this town or that town do not live the same. Just like if you lived in public housing. Well, one person might have a filthy house. That doesn't mean the person next door across the hall lives the same. Come on. You're not that silly.
Exactly right. Right.
Come on now. You're too old to even think like that. You know damn well those people got nice houses back there.
Right. And
Yeah.
and if they wanted to associate with nice people, they got neighbors that are nice, raising their
Of
kids
course.
just fine, keeping their
But that's the
yards
thing. They're not
clean.
getting ready to socialize with anybody that's got, well-to-do or even working class that's trying to better themselves because they don't want anything for themselves. They don't
Right.
want anything. They could try to mimic those people in church and go to church, go get you some nice little slacks and shirts to wear to church, get what you need. Who done it? What the hell is you doing back there?
Yeah.
Who done it? What are you doing?
Hold on, I gotta plug my phone in.
boundary.
Hell, you sound like you back up in the holler. Justice, those faces, I can't take it. Please, you're killing me.
Please, I keep it.
Who done it? I'm getting ready to put you on my Wi-Fi plan or something. Look, Maxine says I'm dying. Honey, I've been dead.
No, well, listen. I was raised poor,
Uh-huh.
but I was
Let me
raised.
mute her. Hold on. Go ahead.
I think we done it. We did.
I muted it.
But I was raised poor, right? But
Mhm.
but poor doesn't mean dirty.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
But it never has. But it never has.
But a lot of people associate
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
what I mean. But I've known a lot of growing up when I was, raised like that. There was a lot of clean, poor people. You know what I mean? So it to me, you can be poor in anything. They're just
Well, and you can be wealthy and nasty. Don't y'all watch Hoarders?
absolutely.
Oh my God, people living in nice condos and houses, and the whole house is packed up, filthy. It's your mindset.
Is it mindset? Not
That's
only
all it
that,
is your mindset.
one of my girlfriends, she's a realtor, and there's a gated community. She was talking about a gated community. She was selling a house. It was the guy who uh, did a lot of the technology for inventing Febreze. The
Okay.
dirtiest fucking family you ever seen in your life.
Okay.
Seriously. So, it don't mean anything. You can
It
have
doesn't.
money.
It really don't. What do you think is going to happen next?
With the Summer Wells case,
Mm-hmm.
I think that they have the forensics, all the forensics back as far as the phone, and all of that. I kind of wonder, are they just letting? I'm very suspicious of the parents. I'll be the first to tell you,
Mm-hmm.
or the family. If it's not them, then it is someone extremely, extremely close to them.
Okay. So if you think either or, and let's just say we go with the notion it's somebody close that came and got her. How did it go? They were there that day, all that running around, or they handed her to these people that they know.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I really don't know.
Really, you have no inkling.
It's very tough. I mean, I think that they know where what either. I think I almost know that but that they know where's what happened to her.
Okay, what happened to her? And if she's alive or dead, either or.
Yes,
Okay.
Either or. I don't think she's alive.
You don't? Okay, I don't either.
But I don't think.
So do you think it was an accident?
I don't think it was intentional. Whatever happened,
Okay, Elizabeth. Happy holidays to all of you. Sorry about that. Go ahead, honey.
If it was if an accident did happen, I don't think it was intentional.
Okay.
But maybe Candace nodded out, or she was asleep in the car.
Okay.
I think
or something happened at the swimming hole, perhaps.
Correct.
Okay. So instead of you being a decent human being and calling 911, you decided to discard a corpse.
Absolutely.
And that's even more sickening that you wouldn't call 911. Let's just say it was an accident.
Well, I mean, is it Tennessee laws under 8 years old?
Yeah, I've heard people talk about that. I haven't Googled it yet, which I don't know why I haven't, but I haven't. But I've been hearing people say that is the new law or something.
Yeah. And this is this will make Don's third felony.
Mm-hmm.
Third strike, you're out.
Well, then that means he'd have to put it off on his wife then. How about that?
Well, I mean, if it was Don, the thing about it is I think they both have things over each other's head.
Yes, I've heard people say that too.
So I really, really believe that. I really want someone to I even thought about going down to Tennessee and going to that watering hole and just getting in it. And
why, honey, you too party for that. What you getting ready to do? Put your good toes and then come back be crying to me? Talking about your feet that fell off. Your ass out. Look, my feet too pretty to be messed up, honey. Let me tell you, I ain't going.
No, but just getting in and just saying, is there slippery rock? You know what I mean?
But it had a lot of debris in there, baby. You could see branches coming out of there. And some of the town folks have said, we don't swim here. We have a place that we swim. And I agree. I wouldn't go there to do that. I wouldn't go
Well,
there to put my baby or my own feet in there.
that would be my first choice either. But I really think Hunter and Candace had an inappropriate
relationship. Okay, so now you're going to something else. Okay, so you think that was the motivation for going there that day? Because some of us think it was a setup for the whole day, so she could be seen out in public, different places. Perhaps that was also a part of the setup too. We're going to get her out where people can see her, and then I'm going to meet up with my cutie pie, which is underage,
disgusting.
which is rape of a child, basically.
I think she took Hunter down there. I don't think Brandis walked down there with her bad knee.
I don't either. When she says I held her hand and all that OBS, I don't believe that.
She did. She stayed in the car, or
Yeah.
she was waiting at somewhere.
Exactly. I don't even think she was there. Period. Baby, that's something about her. That story sounds very bogus to me.
Yeah, and I think, hey, you know what? Let's let Summer play in the water. They're back there doing their thing.
Yeah.
And something may have happened.
So, do you honestly think they did the whole thing, or just touching and fondling?
I think I really. Anyway, why are you up?
You always got somebody jumping up at your house. Hi.
Hey, you can't. Okay. So can't get on. Can't just see your face. I don't want to.
I understand. Yeah. Security reasons. Yeah. Okay. Who done it? It got charge of phone.
But I think that I think that there had been something going on for a long time between Candace.
You know what? Oh, I caught that. You're horrible.
Right.
It is a cancer.
It is. But something is just complete with the entire situation. This has been,
oh Lord, what I done?
Generational after generational
essay,
and it's. I am.
It's something.
I hate that these kids have, had to be separated, but I'm so thankful for them in the long run. I'm sure they will appreciate it, much more in the long run.
Right. I don't know. I hit something and I got all kind of crazy stuff on my screen. Hold on a minute. Let me come back in.
Did she leave me? Is it the Justin show?
Oh, I had to come back. I had hit something. I was trying to do something over here, and some other crazy StreamYard stuff came up for some reason. Let me see what somebody else said. Okay, yeah, who done it? They had to charge their phone. So let's say something happened between those two. Grandis was never there. Why would H then go talk to this Chris Madonna and say anything about what happened that day?
Well, let me tell you something.
Thank you, Soul. That's what I was trying to do. Drop the link, and somehow something else came up. Thanks, Soul. Go ahead.
We do know that Candace, the next day that the TBI went and talked, or the next day TBI and then was supposed to go talk to Hunter and Allie.
Yeah.
Candace went there, and God knows what she told Hunter and Allie not to say. I know it wasn't just about alcohol.
Okay.
And I think Candace bought Hunter alcohol to get him loosened up. it's a way of grooming them, and it's very disturbing.
But why tell part of a story if you're going to start talking to outsiders? Why tell part of a story and not tell all of it? Of course, naturally, he's not going to tell everybody that he did anything with that lady.
You know, I really believe when somebody's lying to you, they tell you half truth. There's always truth into into their story because there has to be, because there's facts that you can't deny. You know what I mean? If you're seen on camera at Walgreens, for instance, well, that has to incorporate in your story. Otherwise, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Because I mean, facts are,
So that means there's no loyalty then. There was no loyalty to talk. You know what I'm saying? For him to go talk. It's bad enough your mother got the ball rolling by going to YouTube, talking to YouTubers. And then next thing you know, here's Chris Madonna going down there to talk to them. I just was like, this is a recipe for disaster. That's just how I felt about it. It was just a recipe for disaster because, as you can see, there was no loyalty between she and Allie. And Allie, to me, is a troublemaker because in one hand, like I said on Crime Lines, you've got a so-called friend that's now falling out with her and basically called CPS, but yet on the day that this child goes missing, you let your son go hang with this woman that you don't speak to or had a good relationship with. Make that make sense.
There's also rumor that, Allie, Dawn, Candace, amongst others, have had this
menage a trois. I won't doubt that. I really think that's the reason why Allie and she were not on good terms. I think something happened with those two because when I was going over to this other YouTuber's channel and I got that information off on my community post where that lady had posted stuff about some guy wanting pictures of children and stuff. All the girls got their hair shaved and one side longer than the other. That video. In that, you see her talking about her daughter missing, Allie's daughter. This was a couple years ago. Well, she called one woman her wifey. So that's when I realized, okay, so she likes women. So the next thing I thought was, well, who's to say she hadn't been messing with Candy? Maybe something went on between her. Maybe there's something went on between the two of them and Jose. I don't know, but I feel there's some hanky-panky been going on between Candy and Allie.
Yeah.
And that's possibly what the issues are.
Jose is there at the house. I think, is that his name, Jose?
Jose, yes.
And Allie's there, and Candace is there, and Don's in Utah, and he's driving back at 110 miles an hour.
Yeah. And why would you come back? How did you find out, and what would make you come back? Because you hear that there's a man at your house.
But, it's just not, I mean, there's just a man at your house. It's supposedly Allie's boyfriend.
Right. And wouldn't you tell your husband that if he heard the rumor? And where would he hear the rumor from, considering where they live? They're back up there in that cubby hole. Who would go back to tell that there's a guy there? So are we now saying that Candace is an instigator? Maybe she got mad. He's gone. She wanted to make him jealous. Oh, yeah, that's why I got Jose here. But then that is stupid. I don't know. See, you don't know with these people.
You don't know with these people. You have no idea. Because
let's really chop that up. How did he know that Jose was there?
I mean, I don't know. Unless
think about it. He's gone. He's gone. So who's to tell him that there's a man in his house?
Maybe one of the kids.
Maybe one of the kids. Yeah.
I mean, that's
very valid point.
But
then that doesn't make sense either because, like you said, that's supposed to be Allie's friend. So why would the kids go back and say, this guy's here if Allie brought him there? Something's missing.
Yeah, something is missing.
Something's missing, like way big missing.
Just, these people literally live kind of drama, turmoil every
Yeah.
single day. Like
Soap opera. Low
every
grade soap opera.
every single day, and they have to make a drama out of everything. You know,
Yes,
when
I
still
agree.
to live like that. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
yes.
You know, and I think, I mean, why do these people want to live in this negativity? Just
But see, this is what people don't understand. They were living like this before Summer went missing, before the boys got taken. There are people who live like this every day. Every time you talk to them, it would be something. I know somebody like this. Every time their mouth opens, it's trauma, drama, Pookieville all day long. You're like, damn, when is there something not traumatic and just crazy? You understand what I'm saying? Just always some ghetto drama. There's people who live like this every waking hour. Always something.
exactly. I mean, I would rather just kick the bucket than live like that.
Because
You
it
know,
just gets old. Always. And he said and she said, and he did this and she did that. It's like, man, come on, turn it off.
you would think.
It just gets old all the time. Just something, something, something.
They just like to. I mean, I guess that's
What they live for.
they live for. But you know, there's so much more to life than
But a lot of people don't realize that. See, that's the thing.
that. Yeah, I guess that is the thing. But damn, go make some. You know, at the end of your life, what are you gonna say you did?
Right, right.
Oh, with that, I don't know. I didn't even queen.
Huh?
I said, anywho, queen. I'm gonna jump. Can you hear me?
You ready to go in for the night?
Yeah, I'm
Okay, that's
gonna.
fine. Love you, and we'll talk later. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Thanks,
Okay,
everybody.
sweetheart. Thanks for joining me.
Okay.
Okay, honey. Bye-bye. That was Justice for All. Thank you all so much for joining me. If anybody else wants to hit the link before I check out of here, Soul Survivors, drop the link. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Justice. Okay. Good night, honey. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with the Summer Wells case. I don't know if there'll ever be any information given to us by law officials. It would be nice if we could hear something, tell us something, but everyone is a person of interest. No one has been excluded from that box, and that should tell you something about Don and Candy Wells, that they're not exempt. They have not been given a pass. And due to all the shenanigans that have played out on social media with these two, all this talking to random people, the fact that they have not been removed from the list of suspects, hell, why would I not think that they couldn't have harmed their child? And the fact that you hear all this BS about lie detector tests, they passed, yah, yah, yah. Well, I want to hear it from Ronnie Lawson's mouth and TBI or FBI. That's who I prefer to hear it from. And until then, I don't believe it. Because a person who tells the truth about what happened to their child, as far as their child missing, they're not going to add different things day for day, week for week. We're now 5 months in, and there's been nothing but extra added stuff to the storyline narrative of Summer Wells missing. And there's no way I would believe those same people passed the lie detector test. That's just my opinion. Oh, okay, Justice, I got you. There's just no way I believe that. Because you're not going to keep adding things, different cars, different people. We've gone from limousines to Tacoma trucks to now blue vans. And, like I told somebody yesterday, what's next? Helicopters, drones, what? Somebody flew over, in a 747, what? Radio flyer wagon, what? There's no way you can be telling the truth. You keep making up all this extra stuff, adding this extra stuff to the story. It's BS. It's just BS. And says it gives addicts an excuse to use drugs and alcohol. Interesting. Possibly. But see, these people have thrived on excuses. They've lived their entire lives, pillar to post, dramified, drinking, narcotics, staying in trouble, with the law, run-ins with CPS. They just are those type of people who refuse to try to do right, act right, talk right. They like living the way they live. They like behaving the way they live. They like the dramatics of life. People coming, what's the matter? Blah, blah. Somebody want to come be a Captain Save-A-Ho to rescue these crazy ass people. You can't do anything with these people. You can't help them. You can't do anything. They don't want your help. They don't want your advice. They don't want your help. They like living the way they're living. A lot of people live like this. It's what people need to understand. All demographics. It could be wealthy, middle class, working class, poor, white, black, Jew, Arab, Chinese, Japanese. You have people who are drama-fied. Does not matter the race, doesn't matter the creed, it doesn't matter the height, the weight, wealth status. They're just people who thrive on misery. Every day it's drama. It's always a story. Let me tell you what happened yesterday. And, and sometimes I think that about myself, like, my God, you meet these people and you're trying to be nice. And it's like every time you meet certain people, it's like they suck you in. They're always bringing drama. I get tired of even talking to people like that. Because I can say for myself lately, people I've attracted, they always got stuff going on. It's never a good day. There's never a good story. It's always something. And it's like, damn, you're draining me. You're bringing shit that I don't want. I don't want it. I don't need it. And I tell myself this every day. What is wrong with people? Why can't you people live regular lives? When you get to a certain age, you should not be getting in trouble with the law. You should not be, driving drunk and showing out and talking crazy and abusing people physically, mentally, verbally, sexually, whatever. Grow up. Just grow up. I can't understand the world where every day it's something. I know some people right now. I know of some people. 56 years old. You're almost 60. All you do, you stay in drama. You go outside. You got drama. You go to the nightclub. You got drama. Your life's drama, drama, drama. You get Facebook drama. You're overhearing drama. I hate people like that. Every day you talk to them, it's something. There's nothing wrong with a person has a bad day. Maybe they're having a little relationship issue or something like that. But just not every time you talk to them, it's just like something, 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 something. Every time you talk to them. Then they're inebriated. And those are the type of people I refuse to deal with. Your ass gets crunk drunk. I don't have no use for you because I know you can't hold a conversation with you. You're not going to understand nothing I'm saying. I'm not going to understand anything you're saying. And we're not on the same level. Yeah, so that's how I feel too. I feel humbled just to get a cup of coffee. That's why I wanted that coffee maker, because I'm a coffee drinker. And I love being able to wake up to drink coffee. I give thanks every time my foot hits the floor. I'm awake, I'm lucid. I can go make coffee. That's my blow for the day. That's my start of my day, is making coffee. Anything else negative, I don't need it, I don't want it, and I didn't send for it. So don't bring it to me. And I have noticed just with people I've met in general, that's just every person I see, it's always something. And in my mind, I'm saying, damn, how do you sleep at night? I got all this drama going on. Do you ever wake up and just like read a book, a magazine? Hell, turn on the YouTube, turn on a decorating channel, something. HGTV. Can't you find something good in life to talk about? Focus on something positive, something great. No, you can't. Because you like the trauma. Maxine, come on now. I don't know anything about the church, so I don't have anything negative to say about the church in general, because I don't know those people. I don't know anything about the denomination, and I don't judge people by the church denominations, because I know there's good people everywhere and there's also bad people everywhere. So I don't have anything to say about the church. Yes, know your blessings and let go of the things that does not matter. Exactly. Because you can drive yourself crazy getting wrapped up in stuff, letting stuff worry you, beat you down, beat your brow down, beat your brains down, sucking in negative information, letting people get inside of your head. I know I'm a prime example. There just comes a time when you have to tell yourself, you know what? I don't need this. I don't want to hear this. I told a new friend that yesterday. I'm telling somebody, I don't want to hear anything else negative. If every time I see you, you're going to keep talking about the same negative, you know what? I don't want to hear it. Because that's getting in my circle, that's getting in my peripheral, and I don't need it. It doesn't concern me. And all I'm doing is getting wrapped up in it by listening. And then if these people don't like this person, then they're going to loop me into it. I don't want no parts. I don't want no parts. I even told my friend this holiday season, I might just relax and not even go anywhere. Just do me for the next couple of weeks. Enjoy my own company. Enjoy my coffee maker. Enjoy my television. Break in this TV that I bought back in the summer. It needs to be broken royally. I've got tons of DVDs that are brand new in the plastic, have not even been opened, that I bought months ago. They need to be watched. So I have enough stuff I can do with my spare time besides listening to other people's problems, being bothered with people coming around only when they want to be bothered. And that's another thing I'm going to top out since nobody's hitting the link. I want to tell you all something. This is the season for giving and being grateful, whether you celebrate the holidays or not. However we all came to be in this country, we're here. Know your worth. Know your worth. Yes, self-love is important. This is a very trying time for many people. A lot of people have lost their lives around this time. A rapper was just gunned down in Memphis. Now people are mourning him. And it's Thanksgiving. How terrible is that to be killed a week before Thanksgiving? It's bad to be killed regardless, but to be gunned down a week before Thanksgiving, come on. Somebody's died last week from being ill, sick in a hospital, hospice, hit by a car, died in a car crash, murdered. Like I said, there's no special time to be murdered in this country or to die from natural causes. But nonetheless, somebody didn't wake up yesterday. Somebody's not going to get up today. It's almost 2:20 Eastern Standard Time in Tennessee. Yes, your time too. Very valuable. Yes. And that's a pet peeve of mine. I'm glad you mentioned that. But somebody didn't wake up. Somebody's not going to see the joy of the world anymore. Know your worth. Know what's valuable to you. Know what's worth your time. Exactly. Some things are not worth your time. Doing stuff for people that are unappreciative. Running around with your head cut off like a chicken for no damn reason. Something the queen has been doing past couple weeks. She had to check herself. Why am I doing this? They don't appreciate it. They don't give a damn. I've been doing this for somebody out here in the street that needed all the stuff I was doing for somebody. Could have been doing this for somebody else. Somebody that needed it. All the money wasted. Somebody else could have used that. Somebody else could have been happy to get the gifts the queen was bearing. So I'm saying, let go of this goofy stuff, negative stuff. Anything you've done that you realize was not to your benefit, stop it. Say, I'm worthy. I don't have to extend myself if I can't do it. It doesn't feel comfortable. And I'm not benefiting. You have to know when to say no. Oprah Winfrey said that once. I cannot worry about somebody getting mad at me because I said no. Because I don't have to say yes because you think I should. Sometimes some of us are just giving people. We like to do things for people, do nice things for people, but everybody is not worthy of getting your time or your gifts. And you all need to know that everybody is not worthy of your time or your gifts. And my thing is, if you can't get anything back in return, hell, what's the point? We know you're supposed to give and not expect anything in return, but you can't expect somebody to just give you all the time. Period. No, it doesn't work like that. And then when it's their turn and they need something, you can't give nothing back but excuses. No. And we have people like this. They're users. They suck you up. They suck you dry with your time, errand running, money, whatever. Doing stuff, cooking. It's all the same. It's all the same. You're giving up all your time, your resources, your money to people who are not worthy, that you can't get shit back from them. And when you realize you can't get nothing, you can't get their time, they can't call you, they can't text, they can't give you no money, they can't buy you nothing, they don't bear gifts, check out and keep it moving. You don't owe them an explanation. Too many people out here would love to have your time, love to receive your gifts, love to receive your cooking, your errand running, whatever the hell it is you've been doing for others. Give it to somebody else or stop it all together. I realize I'm done. I have wasted enough resources the past month. I can't go any farther with anybody. I can't give you nothing. I'm done. I'm done. Because anybody that'll leave a person high dry and not offer them nothing or promise them something and renege on it, knowing that you're also struggling, you need funds, that lets you know they never cared for you. They don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you. And anybody trying to get in your pocketbook, knowing that you need your money, cut them loose. Because we're all in need of money and funds. But when people know your situation, your financial situation, they know the bills you have, and they're steady trying to get in your pocketbook, you need to cut their ass off. Attitudes for no reason, funky acting, keep it moving. I don't give a damn if it's your mama, your sister, your cousin. Keep it moving. Because indulging, engaging, it's not worth the energy. As the scriptures say, you don't have to hate them. You're not supposed to hate your neighbor. Well, that's why you disengage. So you won't end up hating them. You see, hate only comes from engaging. And you keep going back in, you fall out, back in, you fall out, back in. It's a cycle, and that's where the hate comes in. Because you're doing it too many times. And then you get ill feelings, which grows into hate. If you disengage, you won't hate them. Just don't deal with them. Prayers for the homeless, prayers for our missing people, prayers for those who have just lost their lives, prayers for our children. The children, they are our future. And without thriving adults, the children can't make it. They have to have viable adults to guide them and lead them until they are adults. Prayers for Summer Wells, prayers for her brothers, prayers for Cal City. No new news with that case. Next month will be a whole year that those boys were reported missing out of California. Still no new news. 5 months with this child out of Rogersville. A tragedy. Nothing. Nothing that TBI can give us. Nothing. News. Nothing. Hawkins County Sheriff's Department. Nothing. Where is this child? Where is Summer Wells? Where are these other missing children? Where are they? Somebody knows something. And we will pray for justice for her and her brothers. The truth will be revealed. But I give you this message this evening because this is a time that people will be gathering tomorrow, eating, laughing, watching sports, shopping, enjoying people's company, talking to people they haven't seen in a long time. And there'll also be people who will be mourning those who did not make it this holiday season. So know your worth. Know your time is valuable. Know that you are valuable. And you will reap what you sow in this life. You have to treat people accordingly. So if you're one of those people who are not out here treating people well, change. It's never too late to change. Treat people the way you want to be treated. You ever not been doing good things for people? Then go out here today or tomorrow and do something nice for somebody. You've been taking all your life, hustling, double juggling, scamming, scheming. Do something nice for somebody. Pay it forward. Repent. Ask God to forgive you. Say, hey, I've got a problem. I'm self-serving. I'm a narcissist. I don't know how to share. I'm self-absorbed. Work with me. Work on me to be a better person. We all could use some work. None of us are perfect. Pray about it. Turn it over and let God. Because there are certain things you just can't do on your own. You got to have his help, whether you believe in him or not. He is the way maker, the Alpha and Omega. He is the only one that can work it out. When you can't do anything else and you can't go any farther, you've done all you can do with your time, your resources, praying, then you just turn it over and you let God work it out. Thanks again, you guys, for the donations and for the coffee maker. I really appreciate it. God bless all of you. I'm going to check out of here. I might do a little short video tomorrow or on I don't know if I'm doing anything today since today's Wednesday, but I might just do something for Thanksgiving. But anyway, just want to let you all know that thinking about you. Hope you well. Hope you all eat well. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you Thank you for the donations for the coffee maker. And if you'd like to donate to the channel in a dream, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you all so much for your support, your kind compliments. But know that you are worthy. And also know that there's somebody else in a very worse situation. And I know that we can't save the world. It's not our job to save other people. But know that when things are going great for you, you're living your best life, you're happy. There's somebody else that's probably not as happy. They're not feeling as good. They're not doing as good or as well. Think about that person. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much, Udani. God bless you too, baby. Happy holidays to you. Know that there's somebody else that's not in the best shape. They would like to possibly be in a better place, doing better, living better, better job, better situation, better relationships, better family unit. Everybody's got something they could hope to be better, pray to be better. Everybody don't come from the same family dynamic. And know that none of us asked to be here. We didn't choose our parents. Some things we just didn't have a choice. And that's where these little babies come in. When I think of our children who don't have the best lives, they didn't ask to be here. Let's pray for them. They get away out of a bad situation. Because that is the worst thing, is to be a child brought into a bad situation. So know that there are people right now who are worse off than you. They're in really bad situations. And when I talk about these stories on my channel, I realize that I don't have the problems these people have. I don't want their problems. And I try to pride myself not to have their problems. I don't want to be a YouTube story. I don't want to be a Channel 6 story. So I have to check myself and watch what I do, who I talk to, the company I keep, because you can also be one of these stories if you don't check yourself. And I know some of you do not want to be a YouTube or news story. So be aware of your surroundings, the company you keep, and the choices that you make. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, honey. You're welcome. God bless all of you. Stay safe. Please, for those of you who will shop tomorrow, because today is Wednesday, do not leave your parcels on your car seats. Ladies, do not carry a big purse when you go shopping. Buy you a little $5, $10 crossover bag. Have you a can of mace, because there are sick people out here willing to hurt you for your money and your parcels. Do not leave your parcels on the car seats. Put all your shopping bags in the trunk. If you're going to be doing a lot of shopping, have extra people go with you. You don't want to be exiting, getting in and out of a car late night shopping by yourself in dark parking lots. It will be crowded in the malls, shopping centers, so you want to try to get your parking space as close to the store as you can. Always have your keys already out in your hand before you walk out the door of the store. Do not carry cell phones and junk in your hand while shopping, because you will leave your keys, phone somewhere on a countertop. This is the season where people will be watching you to see if you slip up, catch you slipping. So be aware of everything. That's why I recommend crossover bags. They're easy, put over you, so you can go in places, try on shoes, try on clothes without having to worry about a big old purse. You don't need your purse with you, a big old purse. All you need is your cash, debit card, your car keys, and a thing of lipstick. That's enough. Just saying, you don't want a lot of stuff with you when you're shopping. You're going to be out at night because it gets dark quick. Exit that store like you're on fire. Get to that car, have your keys already ready. Put that stuff in the trunk and shut your door, lock your door. Do not stop to help nobody do nothing. When you get home, you're taking everything out of the box, such as your flat screens. Do not put your flat screen boxes out by the dumpster garbage cans. Put those in your trunk or your back seat and take them to the nearest city dump or garbage can, wherever you can find a big dumpster. Do not leave your flat screen boxes by your garbage can. If you live in an apartment, same thing. Don't take that box to the dumpster. People watch. People see you coming and going. You're now putting that box at the dumpster in an apartment complex. Now everybody knows the size TV that you just bought. Don't put it in the dumpster. Put it in your car and then take it to a bigger dumpster and dump it somewhere else. And put all parcels in your trunk. Do not leave your purse, computer, electronic shopping bags on your car seats, please. They will break out your car windows for your goods. Do not post this stuff to social media. Everybody don't need to know you got the latest game, Xbox, this and that. Same thing with the gifts for the children. You have to be careful the company you keep, letting people come over, seeing all your goodies. Sorry, but it's the way it is. But please, keep everything off social media. If you're going to be going out of town, traveling, cross country, over here, 2 hours away, have somebody check your mail, parcels at your house. Make sure you're there to pick them up, somebody to pick up your parcels. People will steal things off your doorsteps. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of schemes, scams by the cell phone, telephone. People want you to donate to things, charity. You don't know anything about it. Don't give up your money. Do not dig in your purse. For small change, dollar bills, they will snatch your purse, snatch your wallet. Somebody selling something off the street. If it's not daylight savings time and it's a group of people out, don't buy it. Don't purchase it. Do not go to anybody's car or van to buy anything, look at anything. Do not park by caravans inside of a parking lot. Don't do it. And try your best to park closest to the store that you can. And if that means you've got to go to bed early, to get up early, so you can be in a safe zone to go out and shop, daylight savings time, please do so, because nighttime will be a very dangerous time to be out shopping with a bunch of shopping bags. Your guard will be down trying to load your car, and that is what people are looking for, is to catch you slipping. Thank you all for joining me. God bless all of you. Happy holidays to all of you. This is Everyday Shenanigans.